Thank you for joining us tonight on the Rhinos pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. I am Joe Giuliano, and the Rhinos still playing on the West Coast this evening tonight. The Rhinos taking on the Portland Timbers at PGE Park in Portland, Oregon. This is the second game of a four-game West Coast swing for the Rochester Rhinos. The trip will conclude next week, Friday night, 10:30 p.m. kickoff at Seattle, and then Sunday at 10 p.m. kickoff at the Vancouver Whitecaps. I'm Joe Giuliano. Soccer Sam will be joining us later on in the program. The Rhinos enter tonight's match with a record of 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties. They have 8 points in the USL First Division. They are currently tied for second place with Montreal and Atlanta. Last night, the Rhinos playing against the California Victory in the home opener at Kezar Stadium, and a very disappointing crowd for the home opener for the expansion side. Johnny Manyanger and Scott Palguda scored their second goals of the season, and Ray Martinez finding the back of the net for the first time this year. The Rhinos defeated the California Victory 3-1 at the former home of the San Francisco 49ers and the Oakland Raiders. Unfortunately, there wasn't the kind of crowd that they would have liked to have seen for their home opener. Rhinos goalkeeper Chase Harrison made 2 saves. He earned his first win in the Nets. He has a record now of 1 win, no losses, and 2 ties on the season. So the Rhinos, again, it's their matchup on the West Coast at PGE Park. Don Stevens will have the play-by-play at 10 p.m. tonight from Portland, Oregon. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at tonight's opponent, the Portland Timbers, coming up right here on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Rhinos pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. I'm Joe Giuliano, getting you ready for the Rochester Raging Rhinos and the Portland Timbers from PGE Park. Tonight, the Timbers playing their third match in 5 days against the Rochester Raging Rhinos. Kickoff about 25 minutes away. Don Stevens will have all the action. On Friday, tonight's opponent, the Timbers, played the Seattle Sounders. Forward Brian Jordan tallied 1 goal and set up the game-tying goal late in the match as the Timbers rallied back to tie the Seattle Sounders 2-2 in front of 5,700 fans at PGE Park. Midfielder Andrew Greger delivered the equalizer for the Timbers. They now have a record of 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie for 4 points. The penalty kick goal by Greger came in the 87th minute. The Timbers have a record of 1-0-1 at PGE Park this season. It's early, but they are undefeated as of now. The Timbers also have some familiar names that the Rochester soccer fans may remember. 2006 members of the Rochester Raging Rhinos, Neil Dombrowski and Chris Bagley, now in the lineups for tonight's opponent, the Portland Timbers. That's a brief look at tonight's opponent, the Portland Timbers. Again, taking on the Rochester Raging Rhinos, and kickoff coming up in about 25 minutes with Don Stevens. When we come back, we'll be joined by Soccer Sam and Mr. Scotty Vallow. He'll join us and hopefully give us an update on his successful surgery. Scott Vallow joining us here on the Heineken pregame show on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Heineken pregame show. Joe Giuliano, Soccer Sam now sliding in here for his segment on the pregame show. Sammy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
My pleasure, Sam. Thank you very much. Let's go to the phones. And Scotty Vallow now joining us from the comfort of his home, unfortunately not with the team in Portland. Scott, thanks for your time, and we appreciate you joining us on the pregame show.
Hey, Joe, thanks for having me on.
Scott, let's talk about the surgery on Tuesday. Obviously, very successful. It's a positive sign. It's a step in the right direction. Talk about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I got put out and I woke up and my arm was sore and I had a cast on. But from what I've been told, it was a 2.5-hour procedure that went, according to textbook. There was no problems, no complications. Doctor got in there, repaired the existing tendon, and just waiting to go back to the doctor on Tuesday for my first follow-up. So it's good that I got it done early, and I'm looking forward to a speedy recovery and getting back on the field as soon as possible.
So, Scott, you have a cast on your arm? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like a 3/4 cast wrapped in an ace bandage just to kind of immobilize it, just to make sure my son doesn't try to grab it or I catch it on a door or something. So it's completely immobilized right now.
In the turnaround time, still they're talking how long?
Yeah, well, they say and the The average age that this injury happens to is a 46-year-old male from catching something from falling or lifting something too heavy, and the average recovery time is 3 to 5 months. So I'd like to think that if a 46-year-old can recover in 3 months, that a 29-year-old professional athlete can recover a little quicker than that. So I'm shooting for an August recovery sometime, hopefully in the beginning of August. But we'll see how the doctors get me sorted out, and definitely don't want to rush it back too soon. But want to try to get back there if there's any chance of getting back at the end of the year.
So you still going to go to practice and do stuff, or I mean, obviously you can't do anything with your hands or arms, but are you going to run or do anything like that? You can't do anything. Going to stay immobile.
Yeah, I had my first visit with the doctor on Tuesday. He said for the first week just don't do anything. But you know as well as I do, Sammy, you don't do any physical activity for a while, your physical fitness goes down the drain.
Yeah, I do know that. Let me tell you, do I know that? You hear that breathing in the background? That's me.
Scott, with this USL Live, you get a chance to catch the games on that at all?
Yeah, I watched the game last night. Pretty encouraging from the boys away from home to get 3 goals. So that's definitely an exciting thing. I told the guys before they left the first game was the most important. We want to get off on a good start. And to start off with a victory and score 3 goals is very encouraging. So the games are unfortunately going to get a little more difficult now. Portland should be a little bit more difficult than California, and then Seattle should be more difficult than Portland, and then you finish off with the game in Vancouver, which is probably one of the toughest places to play in the league. So to get off on the good page with the good 3-1 victory last night was a good start.
Well, Scott, open door here if you want to join us on the pre- and post-game show. We'll just slide Soccer Sam over on the couch a little bit, and we'll watch the game.
Good. Just give me
get another pair of safety glasses. Scott, Joe's wearing safety glasses right now because when I sit down on the couch, my buttons go flying on my shirt. It's awful. Scott,
Sammy, you told me you got this injury from dropping a fork at the buffet.
Yeah, I got the same injury you have. I mean, crazy. I went with the pink cast, though. Did you go with the traditional white cast, or did you go with any colors?
Pretty boring.
Yeah. Chase Harrison last night, what'd you think? His performance, the one save I thought was very Scott Vallow-ish type save. What'd you think?
Yeah, no, the one that he touched off the crossbar was good. I think, catching his interview before, and I think it was at halftime, he said that he's just going to get more comfortable and he's going to continue to grow as a soccer player the more games he gets. And, I told you. That's something that a lot of young soccer players don't get the opportunity to get game experience. So for him to be able to get game experience is going to be valuable for the club. And it's going to be good for him as a learning tool. So hopefully he continues to get better. And it was pretty encouraging. He's got a group in front of him. Definitely a good back four, and he's got a good coaching staff, and he should be all right. He should definitely be all right.
Well, Scott, we do the post-game show. We're going to be going on late tonight and next weekend. So if you're up, call. You could, give us an update of what you think and how you're feeling, I guess, and wish your wife and your family a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's kind of a quiet week down here when the guys left for the trip. So I'm trying to keep myself busy. I'm trying to convince my wife that I can be an online poker player, but. That's not really going over so well. So, yeah, I'll definitely give you guys a call, as needed.
Anytime, Scotty. The door's open anytime. So, listen, rest. Get yourself ready to come back soon, and we'll talk to you, okay?
Thanks, guys. Good luck to the boys tonight. They're going to do great.
All right, Scott Vallow joining us. And that 46-year-old guy, Sammy, 3 to 5 months. The guy's a top-conditioned professional athlete. Much quicker than that.
Right, ready for the playoffs, ready for the championship run. It's going to happen. After the Nighthawks won, there's a lot more pressure on the Rhinos. I mean, that's kind of like the affiliation, but now they won. I mean,
well, it's like your brother won a championship. Now you're competing with your brother.
Right. You have to win. I mean, John Catalano, good friend of mine, he does the production for the Rhinos.
Blue Screen Productions?
Yes. He also does production for the Nighthawks, and he's going to most likely get his first ever championship ring.
Wow.
Yeah, so right now they're like sizing cucumbers. It's the size of his fingers.
I mean, Sammy. All right, Sammy, stick around. We'll come back. We'll take a little tour around the soccer world. We're going to wrap up the pregame show after that, and then Don Stevens takes over the Rhinos and the Portland Timbers. You are listening to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Welcome back. This is the final segment of the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano. Thanks to Soccer Sam and Scott Vallow for joining us in the last segment. A couple of games over the weekend. On Friday night, Montreal tying Puerto Rico 1-1. Seattle tying tonight's opponent, the Portland Timbers, 2-2. 4 games last night in the USL First Division. Charleston 2-0 over Miami. Carolina 2-1 over Atlanta. Congratulations to Chris Economides and Scott Schweitzer. The Rhinos 3-1 over California. And Vancouver 3-1 over Seattle. Rochester at Portland is the only game tonight in the USL First Division. Looking at the standings right now, Vancouver tops the table. They've played 5 games, 3 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. They have 11 points. Atlanta, Montreal, Rochester all tied for second with 8 points, and tied for third with 6 points, Puerto Rico and Carolina. Major League Soccer today, very entertaining game. Colorado 1-0 over the New York Red Bulls. It's the first loss of the year for Bruce Arena in New York. They have a record now of 3 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties. Moving overseas, this could be a player that may have a future with Major League Soccer. Liverpool's Robbie Fowler will not have his contract renewed. Maybe it's time for MLS to take a look at him. Also, Craig Bellamy, another player whose contract will not be renewed, is going to be available. So Major League Soccer with 2 possible options there in Robbie Fowler and Craig Bellamy. And the Premiership ended today. Manchester United clinched it last week. They had 89 points to Chelsea's 83 points. So Manchester United winning the Premiership. Getting relegated this year, Sheffield United, Charlton, and Watford. That's a look at the world of soccer. When we come back, it'll be Mr. Don Stevens with all the play-by-play action from PGE Park in Portland. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. I'm Joe Giuliano. I will see you on the postgame show.
And good evening, everybody. Tonight at PGE Park, here in the heart of downtown Portland, as the Rhinos take on the Portland Timbers for the first meeting of the year, the first of 2 times these 2 teams will meet here this season. The Rhinos have had fairly good success here in Portland. They look to continue that tonight, as in the overall scheme of things between the 2 teams, the Rhinos coming away have not lost to the Portland Timbers with 5 wins and a tie against the Timbers, and they'll look to continue that string here tonight. For the Rhinos, it's the 6th match of the season, and for the home team, the Timbers, it's the 4th and the 3rd on the home surface for the Portland Timbers. Rochester coming away with a 3-1 victory in California last night. But of course, you've heard all that information on the pregame, and our thanks to Joe Giuliano as usual. Great job with all the pregame information. Good to hear Soccer Sam, and really good to hear Scott Vallow also, and it sounds like he's doing well. A little bit bored, but I'm sure he'll get used to it over the next few weeks. But we miss Vallow and Sam and Joe and everybody else. All right, so it is the task at hand tonight for the Rhinos to continue this road swing. It's the 2nd of 4 straight on the road to the West Coast. And again, the Rhinos are playing 7 of their first 8 on the road. And so the string continues on the road as they try and get off and move even above where they are right now, which is currently 2nd place in the standings. Only 3 points out of first place after 5 games played. Glad to have you folks along. I'm Don Stevens with you. A beautiful evening here in Portland. The sun's setting in behind, and about half the field is covered with the shade from the grandstand here. And the wind, it sits in a bowl, so not a whole lot of wind to deal with down at the surface as there was last night at Kezar Stadium in San Francisco. A whole different story here in this one, and a very comfortable evening. Time to talk to the coach. And the coach's pregame interview brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. The coach of the Rhinos, of course, Lori Calloway. A little pleased, more pleased with the start of the game last night, as the Rhinos got off to an early start and scored a couple of goals in the first half, and asked him about his thoughts on that contest last night.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously we talked all day and all week about not giving early goals away, and we had a bonus in getting an early goal as well as not giving one away, so it was a tremendous start. Johnny Monionga's opportunist goal there, probably aided a little bit by the wind and their misjudgment of the ball from Chase. Not often you see a goalkeeper get an assist, but a great start, and obviously the guys capitalised on it. Probably could have done a little better in the first half. I think we had five or six good chances, really good chances, and only scored 2. But great start, and obviously helps a lot when you start that way.
Now, certainly you provided most of the pressure in the first half, but San Francisco seemed to be very strong in the second half. Was the wind making that much difference? The team that had the wind at their back seemed to be doing the pressurizing.
Well, we said at half-time we're in for a battle. We knew because of the trouble they'd had with the wind that we would have the same problem. It was probably 20-mile-an-hour wind and maybe more. At times it was gusty, so you never knew what it was. They certainly came out, obviously. I'm sure their coaches talk at half-time was ringing in their ears because they didn't play very well in the first half, and which was down to us the way we played. And then the fact that they had the win, we knew we'd be under the cosh. But I thought the guys dealt with that very well early in the second half. Again, kept them off the sheet, and we gave up a goal, which was disappointing, but got a great counter later on with Martinez, who had come on and, looked like we could have probably scored 2 or 3 in that last 10 minutes because they were pushing so far forward. We were getting those chances on the break. So great performance. The guys tremendous. Can't say enough about them.
Now, Palguda scored again last night. So you're getting some goal scoring from your defenders. Is that by design? Is it just happening or what?
Well, we set goals at the beginning of the season for the team as far as winning, the league and Open Cup, and then we set goals individually. Set goals first of all from team, titles, and then how much we want to concede as a team, how many goals we want to score as a team. Then we went to the individual goals. We asked the players what they felt was realistic for, like, Matthew Delicate. What do you think you should score, Matthew, in a season, and how many assists? And they all put their numbers up, and so we let them set their goals this year rather than us do that. And then I said, as a unit defensively, I want us to score more goals from set pieces than we did last year. And to be fair to the defense, they're way ahead of their schedule right now, and the other guys are way behind their schedule. So it's part of our goal setting, but we'd like the forwards to put some in the net as well.
About the set pieces, are you satisfied with what the progress is so far?
Yeah, well, we're stingy again at set pieces against. We had a lot last night, corners and free kicks, which we defended quite well, and have done so all season as we did last season. Where we didn't do well last season was the set pieces for, and indirectly Palguda's goal came from a set piece. I suppose you can say Chase is a set piece, although you don't design a goal kick to go in the net within 2 seconds. Palguda's goal against Vancouver was a set piece, although probably a little foul in there as well, but they're all coming from the quality service coming in that's making it difficult for teams to clear. And so they say, worldwide, the FIFA studies say that 40% of all goals are scored for and against from set pieces. So we're working hard on that this year, and hopefully we'll see continued success both ends of the field.
You're getting more and more of your players that haven't played yet into the lineup, such as Perry, for example, played last night. Are you trying to bring everybody along at this point?
Well, Jason's had these problems again with injuries, and he's probably one of our top defenders when fit and healthy. Physically a tremendous athlete. Quick, good in the air, and a strong tackler. So obviously we need to get him in the side. And he came through. I thought he looked like he was only 75 minutes fit as the game wore on, and we decided to keep him in rather than disrupt things at the back. And I think he maybe could have done a little better on the goal, but it was probably more to fatigue than his ability. So we're trying to get these guys 90-minute fit. Kraft's another one that we've got to start getting in. Bawley obviously came in and got more time than he's had so far from after indoor, and slowly but surely we're getting all the squad together and getting them playing time. And Ambers is probably the next one that we've got to get involved, and because he's one of our more technical players and right around the penalty area as far as setting stuff up for other people. So we're still in pre-season, really, if you think about it, and that's what we're trying to do.
Aaron Lyons and Scott Ballo didn't come on the trip, of course, because of injuries. Any new injuries to contend with?
No, our guys, surprisingly, because it was a pretty physical game from California's point of view. I thought they were at times pretty brutal and leaving their feet a lot as far as diving tackles, and Delicates look bad, Johnny Monyoungas look bad, but they've come through fairly unscathed, just bumps and bruises.
Harrison again, made some great saves again last night.
Great, the boy did great, and can't say enough about him. He's fourth game in professional soccer, and here he is, almost getting a shutout, and he did tremendous to us. So yeah, he'll be in goal tonight.
All right, Larry Calloway, the coach of the Rhinos, and once again, Chase Harrison will be in goal as he has played the last 3 straight and has done extremely well. He's made some great saves and certainly gaining confidence, it seems, as games go along, and the Rhinos counting very heavily on him, especially with the injury, of course, to Scott Vallow. At what point we might see the other goalkeeper, and that, of course, being Hector Zapata, an equally very qualified goalkeeper out of Honduras. And I guess probably the thing that the Rhinos saw in Harrison was his size at 6'2", 180, which seemed to be a very contributing factor to his ability, and so he got the first shot at it, if you will, and he's made good of his chance so far. So at some point, I'm sure Zapata will also get an opportunity to play and see what he can do. Well, the officials are coming out onto the field. The teams will be coming out very shortly as we'll be getting underway here at PGE Park in Portland. And again, this is the only meeting of the 2 teams here in Portland this season. They will be playing once in Rochester, and that will be on June the 9th. The Portland Timbers so far have played 3 games, and they come in with a 1-1-1 record, a .500 record. They're unbeaten at home with a win and a tie. On the home surface, tied the last game, and they're playing 5 of their first 6 games at home. So the Timbers, starting out with a lot of home games up front, they'll be traveling a lot later on in the season. Their next game here will be against California on Friday night. The Rhinos, on the other hand, as we were talking about, playing 7 of their first 8 on the road, and in fact, they'll be, when they get done with this trip, over halfway through the season's road schedule already. 14 games on the road and 14 at home, and then having played 8 at the end of this trip, it'll be home cooking, hopefully, for the Rhinos as the rest of the season moves along through June, July, and August. A lot of home action coming up later on in the summer. Rhinos coming out onto the field, once again wearing that yellow uniform with the long sleeves, and certainly it was welcome last night at the game in San Francisco. Very chilly there. It's a little bit warmer here, but it's nice and cool, and crystal clear blue skies overhead at PGE Park in Portland. There was some rain earlier today, but has cleared up very nicely. There is some breeze, but not a whole lot, and I think it blows sort of over top of the surface. This is a baseball park, and configured for soccer. It sits in a bowl here in Portland. There's grandstands around from way out down the third base line all the way to around to the first base side, and then the outfield is open to the left field. To the right field, there's a huge building, which is actually the Portland Athletic Club, as it sort of blocks the right field area, and the field then is covered on 3 sides with buildings and grandstands all around, so it sort of blocks the wind from creating any problems out on the field surface. As the Portland Timbers are now being introduced and coming out onto the field, we'll be getting underway very shortly. Again, for those that missed it, that did say it last time, I want to repeat to the Rochester Nighthawks, congratulations on winning the lacrosse championship yesterday. That's outstanding. The Nighthawks, champions, and what a great year they had with just a couple of losses for the whole season. An outstanding job to the coaching staff and management and, of course, the players of the Rochester Nighthawks, the champions. Rochester going with the same lineup as last game, and the question will be how long that the individual players will be playing, because they played last night, and then it was up at 4 o'clock this morning after getting to bed, about midnight. Up at 4 o'clock and traveling here to Portland, so I'm sure the fatigue factor will be playing a part, and we might see some earlier than normal substitutions. There's a lot of players on the bench, and a pretty good squad right there that's waiting to get their chance to play. All right, getting underway here in Portland very shortly. The Rhinos and the Portland Timbers will battle it out, and starting in just a couple of moments. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Yeah, we just sort of had a little different rendition of the national anthem. I'm not sure that the words were exactly the same as they normally are. But anyway, guy looks like he's a biker from back in the 50s. doing the national anthem, and they get a round of applause here. All right, starting lineups are brought to you by Nothnega Realtors, Rochester's full-service realtor. And checking the lineups, first of all, for the home team, and that being, of course, the Portland Timbers. In goal is Josh Wicks. He has gone the distance thus far, a 1-1-1 record of 1.33 goals against average. It's Wicks in goal. The defensive row includes Scott Thompson and Justin Thompson, not related. Cameron Knowles and Leonard Griffin will round out the defensive row. And through the midfield, Luke Kremmelmeyer, Tom Podol, Andrew Greger, watch him, and David Haig. And then up front, former Rhino Chris Bagley, along with Brian Jordan. And the home team wearing the dark green uniforms here tonight, the Timbers. And for the Rhinos, starting out in goal once again is Chase Harrison, as he comes into this one with a 1-0-2 record, a 1.00 goals against average. Harrison in goal down to my right. The defenders including Chris Aloisi, Kenny Burtz, Jason Perry, and Scott Palguda. And in the midfield, Stephen Shirley Black, John Minyonger, Johnny Ball, and Tinwa Bunsu. And then up front, Abad Diallo and Matthew Delicott. Rhinos taking the kickoff. Again, Rochester wearing the bright yellow uniforms with a dark trim, and a good-looking uniform it is. And shooting that to my left, and Harrison in goal down to my right. Harrison is completely in the shade now, and now the other end, Wicks has about 3 or 4 feet of his crease that is in the sun. And here we go now, as the ball played by Minyonger up left wing side. Black will drop it back at midfield to Palguda. Scored one last night. Pass ahead to Delicott, touching it forward. Diallo return pass to Delicott, but that's hammered away out into the center circle. Settled there by Aloisi, chips it up the right side. Delicott coming back at the ball is upended, taken down, and the play goes on as he was dumped by Griffin. Cross midfield into Rhino territory. Off the left wing side, Jordan working deep to the corner, knocked away by Aloisi, and the ball recovered by the Rhinos. Served it up to midfield line, but taken away again. Scott Thompson in on it. Make that Justin Thompson off of the far wing, and along the far wing, brought upfield, but hauled down his ball as he's pulled off the ball, and the whistle blows, and a foul is called. Restart for the Rhinos, 40 yards out off the right wing side. Aloisi will move up to place the ball and take the kick. A right outside defender. Sets it up, getting ready, just getting started here. Rhinos scored last night early, 3rd minute. See if they can repeat that here tonight. Service down to the 18. That's flicked away out of the box. Coming out around the 30 on the near wing, and Black back to head it away, but popped up in the air out of the near side by Bagley. Chasing after it, Palguda and Bagley, teammates last year. Burt tried to play it away, but blocked toward the net. And running down to the 18, letting it roll inside the box is Harrison. He picks it up, and we'll wait for the players to move away. Just getting started. No score here at PGE Park. Harrison bounces the ball a couple of times. Right-footed volley, high kick downfield, all the way down to around the 30. Headed aside by the Timbers, popped up in the air by Krummelmeyer, and they headed forward. Knocked down, but the whistle is blown. A foul called on the Rhinos. Free kick for the Timbers from their own 35. That'll be taken there by Knowles. We watch closely by Diallo and also Delicott. Knowles placing the ball with the right foot, low drive through the center circle off of the far wing, stepping up. Aloisi again heads it back to midfield, but Podol stepping in as he and Aloisi play a little game of head ball. Cleared through to the 35 and then tipped out to midfield by Bunsu. Knocked away back in Rhino territory, popped up in the air by Greger. He's the goal-scoring leader in the league right now. Off of the left wing side, carried down deep to the corner. Griffin with a cross, but that's over top of the net, out over the end line, and it creates a goal kick for the Rhinos. 3rd minute, no score. Greger coming into this game with 3 goals, leading the league. Andrew Greger, 31-year-old. He played for the Seattle Sounders last year. 5'11", 160 pounds. Had 2 goals last game to add to 1 earlier in the season. So his league-leading 3 goals, of course, very early on in the season. Harrison with the right foot, drives it out through midfield. Into the center circle, headed back into Rhino territory by Scott Thompson. As the ball is dribbled back in the zone and to the end line, we're scooped up there. Grabbed by the goaltender, Harrison. Brings it ahead, out to the 18. Not a lot of fans here, but they're making some noise. The ones that are down behind the Portland net to my left. Ball flighted through midfield. Delicott up, flicks it forward. Turning back for the ball goes Diallo. But as he's double-teamed, is called on a foul. And the whistle to stop play. The center ref is Colin Tate, and he's going to have a few words for Diallo. The assistants, Shahram Borazari and Manuel Soledad. And the 4th official is Kevin O'Daniel. I have no idea if I said that right or not. What's the name? Shahram for Azari as the assistant, one of the assistants. Cross midfield. Long kick downfield by Wicks all the way just inside the far corner of the 18 of the Rhinos end of the field. And it's a crossing foot booted away by Burtz. Off his foot coming down near the end line, far into the box, headed back in foot, grabbed on one hop by Harrison. So the Rhinos now, Harrison, long kick downfield, trying to get a quick break going. But it's dotted right back across midfield by Justin Thompson. He's playing his first game of the season, the defender for the Timbers. Out of the near side across midfield is Burtz. Rolls it ahead for Diallo. Checking back of the ball, drops it back at the midfield line for Burtz once again. Or make that Palguda long up the left wing side. That's booted away on the near side. Whistle to stop play. An offside flag is up in the air against the Rhinos. First offside of the night against Rochester. So restart for the Timbers. From around their own 25. 5th minute, no score. Rhinos will have a few days off after this one to do some practicing and to get ready for the game next Friday against Seattle will be the next game after this one. On ball booted by Wicks through midfield, coming down at the Rochester 20. That's flicked forward at the 18, knocked down, shot in off the frame, punched wide by Harrison, got the left hand on a diving to his left, kicked it wide out over the end line. First corner of the game, and it goes to the Timbers. Great save once again by Harrison. So a corner kick from the right wing side. Left-footed kicker. Serving it up now. Off the left wing. Here's low in the box. Headed away and out top. Settled there. Krummelmeyer underneath it. Ball chasing him. Drop back near midfield. Turned ahead of the left wing side. Griffin will chip it down to the end line. Out to grab it at the far end of the 18 is Harrison. Wins the race to the ball and holds on. Harrison tested early here. Comes up big. Drawn up the right wing side. Aloisi sends it through midfield and underneath it. Diallo tips it toward the middle, but is taken down. The whistle stops play and a foul is called. That foul against the Timbers, so the Rhinos with the restart. 25 yards out off the right wing side. As Diallo was hauled down. Diallo had a goal in the first game of the season, has not had a point since. Matthew Delicott has it at a point. Here's Ben Younger. Quick restart down inside, but that's dotted away outside the box, and whistle to stop play as a foul is called. So the Rhinos forwards looking for some points. Actually, Rochester now has 3 goals from defenders, and the remainder from Ben Younger in the midfield. Burks has 1. Palguda has 2. Martinez and Ben Younger have the 3 goals from the midfielders. And then 1 from a forward, Diallo. Here's the kick through midfield. Floater coming down to Rhino territory. Headed away by Black out into the center circle. Checking back at the ball. Backheel nicely by Diallo for Delicott. He'll tip it downfield, trying to get it behind, but there's Scott Thompson to play it back to the keeper. Drives it high in the air out to midfield, and Aloisi underneath it. Blocks it forward, then chases. He'll sneak it ahead. Pushed off on the right wing side. Diallo after it. Little fake there. Crossing foot blocked away out over the end line off of Justin Thompson, and it... well, no, they say it was just booted straight out by Diallo, so it is a goal kick for the Timbers. 7th minute and no score. And the ball placed for the kick from the goalkeeper, Josh Wicks, 6'3", 195, a 23-year-old from Germany originally. Played for the Vancouver Whitecaps last year. Ball flighted through midfield. Center circle, headed up in the air by Krummelmeyer. Underneath it, Bonsu. It's flicked across midfield by Ball, but then played right back into Rhino territory. Turning off in the corner goes Aloisi. He'll knot it down inside the box, where it rolls to the end line and taken there by Harrison. Being watched in front by Jordan. Ryan Jordan of the Timbers. Applying pressure. Now backs off. Harrison has the ball. With the right foot. High floater through midfield. Flick forward by Delicott, trying to sneak it through. That's over Thompson. A couple of hops down inside the 18 and taken there by Wicks. So we just go end to end, keeper to keeper right at the moment. 8th minute, no score. Boot across midfield. High floater coming down at the Rochester 25 again. Headed away by Burtz out toward midfield. Then nodded forward by Podol and flicked to the outside. And it's taken by Krummelmeyer. Ball to the near wing as he's watched 1v1 with Black trying to get loose. Ball tipped loose momentarily, but recovered again by Greger, and then he's taken down. And the ball brought away by the Rhinos. Pass in the middle for Delicott. As he's bothered from behind, dropped back and continuing on forward now is Aloisi. Along up the right wing side after Diallo being chased by Thompson. Off of the far wing, Justin Thompson. Raised it in the middle. Diallo off the ball. On the 35, dropping it back for Bonsu, touching it to the outside for Aloisi. Off the right wing, he'll chip it ahead, down inside the 18, but headed away and out by Knowles, and then booted out into the center circle. Recovered by the Timbers. It's Jordan turning to the outside, chased by Palguda, trying to get loose. Palguda grabs on, ball knocked loose at the 20, and moving in is Perry to bring it down. And pushing it out of the near side for Burts, and the fans are a little upset that no call was made. At midfield, chipped up into the stands, and so a throw-in on the near side for the Rhinos. And the Timbers having a few words for center ref Tate. Palguda for the throw-in at the midfield line. Looks for it, chips it up the right side, played it over top of Delicott, coming down to the near wing and booted along the near side by Knowles, but the Rhinos play it forward. However, stepping in to intercept is Scott Thompson. In turn, taken away by Black, but the foul is called on Rochester, and it'll be a free kick for the Timbers from their own 40. Rhinos are arguing about that call. I think the referee indicating that the boot came up a little high. In the 10th minute, here in Portland, and no score. Kick to be taken by Cameron Knowles, a 24-year-old from New Zealand. Sends it down to the Rochester 20, headed away out of the middle of the box by Burts, and ball will drop it back at his 18 to Aloisi. On the right side, long chip through midfield. Delicott checking back of the ball, got away from him. Almost stole it back, but it is recovered again by the Timbers on the far side near midfield and played along the left wing, and deep to the corner goes Bagley. Chased there by Perry. Bagley with a cross down inside the 18, grabbed on one hop by Harrison. Throws it through the near end of the 18. Now to Palguda, working up the left wing side and to the outside of the near wing for Shirley Black. Tips it out to midfield. Diallo, as he's pushed off the ball, it's brought ahead now by the Timbers on the near side for Kremmelmeyer. Coming back to bump him is Black, and he plays it to the outside for Greger. The Timbers still have the ball. Pass forward. Bonsu gets the left foot on it to knock it aside for Diallo. In the middle for Younger. Turns it to the outside. Ball challenged from behind. The ball knocked away and cleared off in the far wing deep to the corner. After it goes Bagley, the Rhino of last season. Bagley laying it out on the left wing side. That's tipped loose in front, and now run away off of the far wing by Younger. Drops it back at the 18. Perry moving upfield. Turns back to get away, and now he'll drop it back to the keeper. Harrison first times it away from his 6, chipped high in the air, coming down to the midfield line. As Delicott and the defender up his back, but no call is made, and the ball played back down to the Rochester 35 on the near side. Palguda with the left foot sends it down to the zone, tipped toward the middle, up the flick from Diallo, and then played away by Thompson off of the far side. Ball underneath it, able to nod it forward, but then again right to Knowles of the Timbers. His pass intercepted by Bonsu from Younger. Turning around, rolls it to the outside on the near wing, and taken 35 yards out by Shirley Black. Pass along the near side for Diallo. Got knocked away, but gets it back again. Controlled by the Rhinos on the left wing. Palguda cross down along the 18. Hit ball in, but up over top of the net. Coming down wide of the net off the header from Delicott. So the Rhinos get an opportunity, the first one of the game, and it'll be a goal kick. Sponsors of these broadcasts include the World Gym. Real gyms, real people, real results. By Power Trip, taste the power. And by Freetime Magazine, Western New York's art and entertainment guide. Kick downfield, headed back across the midfield line. And Younger unable to control, and the ball is chipped off of the far wing, and a couple of bounces out of bounds on the far side. A throw in for the Rhinos from their own 35. Up to take the throw in is Aloisi. Missed a game injured, but returned last night and had an excellent outing. Throw in across midfield, looking to flick it forward is Delicott, but not over his head, and then played aside into Rhino territory, turning back for it on the far wing. It's taken by Perry. 1v1 with Jordan, able to play it up the wing to midfield, but recovered there by Griffin. And give it off to Poto, right back to Griffin at the midfield line on the left wing side. Checking back on the ball, but knocked away. And it comes loose, and a foul is called on Rochester. Free kick for Portland, just across the midfield line. And Younger gets up, limping a little bit, but he'll shake it off as the ball is played, switched off on the near side for Thompson. Scott Thompson up the right wing, but nobody there. It's deep in the corner, rolls out of bounds. Throwing for the Rhinos on the near side. From their own 20, on the near wing, flicked ahead by Black out to midfield. Diallo can't escape. That's popped up in the air, coming back near midfield, and in underneath it is Bonsu. Settles the ball in the center circle, pushing it to the outside of the right wing for Aloisi, and across midfield, up the right wing, ball after it, but that's away, and out of bounds. Griffin taking the throw in, plays it into Poto, right back to Griffin for the Timbers. One touch across midfield. Back heel on the far wing, but intercepted, taken away by Aloisi. The Rhinos have the ball back. With the right foot, drives it out through midfield, flick ahead by Delicott in behind, but in an offside position as Diallo as he turned back for the ball. The flag goes up. Offside against the Rhinos, second of the evening. 14th minute, no score. And the restart for the Timbers, coming from their own 30, with the right foot, driven by Wicks downfield, coming down to the Rochester 18. That's headed up in the air in the middle. Big hopper, and Palguna, but can't clear it away. Kremmelmeyer settling the ball to the 18. Turns it to the outside of the near wing, and Menyanger gets to it. Brings it away to the outside. After it goes Black. Couldn't get to it in time. It's out of bounds. Turnover, and a throw in on the near side for the Timbers from the Rochester 35. There's the throw in. On the near wing. Comes down to the 18. Tipped away out of the box by Burtz for Black, and up the left wing side to Diallo. Challenging him. And on the near touchline is Knowles, and the whistle blows as a foul is called and a free kick for the Rhinos. Big sign at the front of the fans down to my left. The end zone to my left says, "Welcome to the city of Thorns." And those fans down there are standing. It's the there's the name of that group. Something Army, I think it is. And they make a lot of noise. They stand for the whole game, cheering and chanting, much like they do in European soccer. Played away on the near wing, and it's touched with the hand of Palguna. He turns back and says, "Wait a minute, it wasn't my hand." So we'll have the free kick for Portland. This will be 25 yards out off the right wing. 15th minute, no score. Moving up for the restart, as the kick will be taken by Gregor. Left-footed kicker. Two-man Waddle on the 18. Now just one man there is Diallo. Well, Menyanger will back to join once again Diallo. Here's the kick down inside. Headed away out the near end of the 18 by Burtz. And a throw in on the near side for the Timbers, 20 yards out. Gregor this time will take the throw in. Now he's going to leave it there, and moving up will be a defender, Scott Thompson. 6 foot, 26-year-old from California. Throw in at the near end, but headed away toward the touch line, and once again it's out. This time the Rhinos will have to throw in from about their own 5 on the near side of the field. More sponsors of these broadcasts include Nextel, Power Up, Best Mobile, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together. Just a couple more of the sponsors of these broadcasts. Throw in for the Rhinos, deep in the left wing corner. It's Burtz, high floating free throw back to near midfield as the ball is knocked down, and underneath it is Bonsu. Across midfield, Menyanger as he's bumped there by the other Thompson. And the ball carried across midfield by the Timbers. Long on the right side, Bagley after it. Underneath the ball, nearing the end line. Looking for the cross along the 6. Moving away, booted up into the stands by Perry as Bagley almost was ready to tee it up for the left-footed kick. Now Perry comes through. Throw in. 5 yards out on the near side for the Timbers. And Thompson to take the throw in. Well, play it down inside the 6. Punched away, and once again out over the near touch line. So a throw in deep in the corner, about 2 yards out now. For Thompson of the Timbers. Thompson set to go, now sends it again short to the 6. That's headed up in the air, punched away by Harrison on top. The shot, he knocked down in front, still not out, pumped up in the air outside the 18. Rhinos trying to cover up at their own end, in the zone again, played away out of the box, and out top, chased down by Gregor with the left foot, drives it in. That's headed away by Bonsu off of the far side. Played out to near midfield, and the ball back taken by the Timbers in the center circle. Podol drops it back, so the Rhinos dodge a bullet right there. Back along the near wing, and 35 yards up, blocked ahead by Delicott, but turning back goes Knowles once again. He'll nod it back to the keeper, Hicks. Make that Wicks. Wicks is the keeper. 18th minute, and no score here in Portland. Booted in the air downfield, goes out on the far side, a big bounce out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos, their own side of midfield. And Aloisi will take the throw in. Set to go. Chris Aloisi, 5'10", 160, a 26-year-old from North Babylon, New York. Played for Houston in the MLS last year in the cross midfield. That's popped up in the air. Race for the ball, 35 yards out. Headed back toward the center circle, picked up by Menyanger. The Rhinos have it. Turned it to the outside of the near wing for Palguna. He'll drop it back again. Johnny Menyanger now leads the Rhinos in points and goals. Chipped up the left wing side. Palguna trying to overlap. Kremmelmeyer chasing him. Cross down in front. Deal over the side body kick, and he missed on it. Trying to take the side winder, and he missed on it. Oh, what a great opportunity. I don't know if he tried to make that one fancy or what. All he had to do was block the ball, take the shot. He was all alone in front of the net. When he tried to take the sidewinder kick, and he missed on it. Headed away back near midfield. As the ball will be dropped off at the Rochester 35, carried away by Bonsu. On the right wing across midfield for Diallo. Checking back on the ball. Gives it off, ball across midfield. Delicate dropping it back, but it's picked off again by the Timbers. Knotted away by Delicate, and the Rhinos had to recover the ball. Far side, Aloisi. Couldn't get to it. Yes, he does. Keep it in play off of the far wing. And it is cleared out of bounds. Throw it to the far side for the Rhinos. All played in. Delicate. Menyanger takes it. Dropping it back in the center circle for Bonsu. Plays it out on the near wing. Pass up the left wing side. Pelguda giving it off to Black. As he's bothered there by Scott Thompson. Black drops it off near midfield. Bonsu along the near wing, stepping up as Birch. With the left foot, chips it ahead down near the end line and rolls inside the near end of the 18, where it's blocked there by Wicks. So the Timbers keeper has the ball. 20th minute, no score for Portland. Rochester, first time this season they had scored in the first half was last night. They did it twice. Played through midfield by Wicks. And a flick forward, but getting to it, Burtz from his own 25. First time it out into the center circle. Collision there. Diallo is going to get the yellow card. Diallo in a collision with Podol right in the center circle. And so the Rhinos draw the yellow. And that in the 21st minute. All right, restart in the center circle for the Portland Timbers. As the information recorded in the book by the referee, Colin Tate. All right, now as I have it, 3 shots so far for the Timbers and 2 for the Rhinos. And, of course, unofficial stats. Ball placed in the center circle. And the kick to be taken by Gregor. With the left foot. Sends it down inside the 18, but headed away in the air by Aloisi up to the 30. That's dotted in the air by Menyanger. Flick forward by Delicate. And unable to get to it is Diallo. Back in the center circle. Turning back. Dropped off. Cross midfield. And the Timbers chase it back in their own end. Played back to the keeper. Wick stops it along his 6. With the right foot. Sends it out through midfield. Palguda up. Nods it back across midfield for Black. Turns back at the midfield line. Spins away. Pulled off the ball by Krummelmeyer. And the foul is called. Quick restart by Pelguda. Delivers to the right wing side, but that's been blocked away and recovered by the Timbers. Far corner of the 18, Griffin with the left foot, flights it through midfield. Headed up in the air. And underneath it. It's knotted back by Perry for Birch, and with the right foot drives it out to midfield. Ball dropping it off there for Aloisi. First touch ahead for Delicate across midfield, but pushed off the ball. At the midfield line, recovered there by Gregor. And the Timbers with the ball, a pass ahead. Rod forward, turning toward the middle. Jordan trying to get the right-footed shot away as he's blocked off the ball, and it's carried away on the near side. Again deflected down to the Rochester 20. Turning to his right, Jordan trying to get a shot away. Spinning still with the ball at the near end of the 18. Chased inside the box by Bonsu, and the loose ball deflected away. Bonsu finally with the right foot puts it up in the stands. So the Rhinos trying to maintain control in their own end of the field, but a lot of pressure applied here by the Timbers. To the outside again for Scott Thompson. Rolls it back on top, 25 yards out. Podol goes to the end line, chased down by Krummelmeyer. Looking for a cross, rolls it inside the 18, but there it's played away by left foot of Pelguda up on the near side. On ahead, Scott Thompson. Pass toward the Rochester 20, just outside the box. Looking for the turnaround. Jordan can't do it. Laid on the near wing, and Black with the ball. Cleared ahead for Delicate. Turning back, pulls it toward the middle, but Podol gets to it, drops it back in the midfield circle. Pass ahead by Griffin. Bagley turns into the outside. Aloisi steps up to intercept. Pushing it forward for ball as he battles 1v1 at the line. Away with it comes Griffin. Out of the 20 at the far end of the 18. Left-footed roller in front, and getting his foot on it is Birch. Boots it over the touchline off in the far corner, and a throw-in deep in the corner for the Timbers. Moving over for the throw-in is Haig. David Haig, the 25-year-old from Jarrow, England. He'll take the throw-in out the left wing side. Flights it down to the far end of the 6-yard box. Knocked down. Chip shot in. They score. It was dropped back about 10 yards out. Gregor, the leading scorer in the league, adds another one to his total. Chips it with his left foot in the upper right corner. And the Timbers draw first blood. 24th minute. 24th minute, Portland scores. As Gregor records his 4th of the season. And that served up off the corner kick, or the throw-in on the left wing side. So the Rhinos trailing 1-0. Right ahead down Van Younger, pass across midfield for Ball in the center circle, taken down. And I think they had an assist. We'll find out if somebody brings us the information on who scored and what assists there were, but I'm not sure. I think that was Gregor that got the goal, and then I heard him say something about Bagley. I don't think he got the assist. But anyway, chip down inside. That's dotted forward toward the end line, and out over the end line. And off of the Timbers, so corner kick for the Rhinos. First corner of the night for Rochester. John Ball to take the corner. Off the left wing side. Goes short on the roll into Ben Younger. Returns it to the outside again along the near wing for Ball. 20 yards out for Black. Stepping up. Double team that got away from him. However, a foul is called as he's pulled off the ball. Rhinos will have a free kick. Just outside the 18. 20 yards out off the left wing side. Close to the near corner of the box. 25th minute, 1-0 lead for the Timbers. Having scored just moments ago. Rhinos setting it up. Delguda standing next to the ball, as is Johnny Younger. Also in behind is John Ball. About a 5-man wall along the 15th. Delguda, Younger talking it over. One touch to Younger, back heel, the ball sneaks it through down in front, and it's chipped up in the air over the end line. And a corner kick for the Rhinos. That's put away by Griffin out over the end line. Another corner for Rochester. Moving over, Ball. We'll take the corner kick again, this off the left wing side. Set to go, Ball with the right foot, in-swinging kick. For the back post, headed down in front. Big bounce up in the air, out the far end of the 6. Nodded back in front again, headed away by Knowles. And this one on the far side. It comes down to bounce out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos. Here's Burt's quick throw in, deep in the box, moving in. That's grabbed on one hop. A little push there by Delicott, and the foul is called anyway. So we'll have the restart by Wicks as Portland takes the 1-0 lead. Brought away up the left wing side. Out to midfield, chipped along the far wing and chased to the corner. Turning back for it, go the Rhinos, Perry. As he lets it roll out over the end line, it is a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Also brought to you by Salvatores. They deliver everything but babies. And by Health Source Chiropractic. For information or appointments, call 225-6430 or log on to healthsourcechiropractic.com. All placed to the 6. Harrison, once again, has allowed a goal. So far, on the season, all 4 of his games, he's allowed 1 goal. See if he can hold it at that here tonight. Coming into this game, Harrison, second in the USL with that 1.00 goals against average. 9th in the league coming into tonight with 10 saves. Off of the left wing side, brought forward by Griffin. He's watched closely there by Delicott, turns back, hands of the midfield on the far wing, drops it back his own side of midfield, and Knowles will chip it ahead. Deep to the far corner, underneath it goes Bagley, but Aloisi plays it aside. Moving up, Haig into the corner. That's bounced away out of bounds by Ball, trying to get to it to keep it in, but he put it up, home run over the center field fence by Ball as he tried to keep it in play, but put way up and over the stands. Throw in that same spot that led to the goal. Off the left wing side, the throw in, flighted down to the far end of the 6, headed up in the air and out the far end of the 18. Ball gets to it. Hammers a high one this time out to near midfield, settled by Knowles. To the outside. Griffin pass in the middle. Younger trying to get it away from Scott Thompson. Thompson goes down. Foul is called on Younger. Free kick for the Timbers. 30 yards out, a little bit to the left of center. 29th minute, 1-0 lead for the Timbers. Our halftime intermission will be talking with Johnny Younger. Ball played down a little bit too quick on the restart. Ref blows the whistle, says, nope, do it again. Wait till we get set. And Younger, the 27-year-old from Liberia. Another year here with the Rhinos. Having an excellent start to the season. Ball placed by Gregor. 30 yards out, left of center. Here's the whistle, and the kick down inside for the back post, missing out over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos. Harrison gets the ball, placing it as 6. Goes short on the throw-in, or the kick rather, to Aloisi out the right wing. Played across midfield. Diallo, as he challenges Griffin, the ball knocked away and out. Off of Griffin, throw-in, across the way for the Rhinos. 40 yards out. Ball to take the throw-in. Off the right wing side. Plays it down in front. Unable to get away. Delicott. That's headed up in the air on the far wing. Booted high again. And Delicott colliding with Knowles. Finally knotted forward by Ball down to the 18. But that's headed away and out. Far wing Haig after it. Challenged there by Menyunger. Now dumped by Ball. And the ball out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos. 25 yards out off the right wing side. And Kenny Burtz, the defender, will come up for the throw in. 6th match of the season for the Rhinos. 4th for the Timbers. Burtz looks it over. Set for the throw-in. Lights it down inside the 18, coming down to the middle, then played back out of the far wing. Burtz gets to it again, tried to cross in front, blocked away. And it's a foul is called on the Rhinos. So free kick for the Timbers. Their own 20 off the left wing side, about the 25, as Griffin rolls the ball forward. And the keeper, Wicks, will come out to take the kick. Timbers scored in the 24th minute. Or the first and the only goal in the match thus far. Ball flighted downfield, coming down to the Rochester 18, headed up in the air by Perry. Trying to get underneath it again, and back to recover his Ball. It's chipped ahead. Menyunger off the chest, blocks it back for Bonsu. He'll volley it out on the near wing where it's chased down by Black. Off the left wing side, across midfield. Checking back of the ball, Diallo drops it off once again for Shirley Black, and a pass ahead for Delicott. Bounced away, but picking it up again is Menyunger along the near wing. He'll try to sneak it through, but that's blocked aside by Thompson of the Timbers. Take it away, sends it out through midfield into Rhino territory. Chased after the near corner by Bagley. Harry after him. Bagley has Jordan breaking in the box. Slows it up along the near wing, has it 15 yards out along the near touchline. Lays it out top. Turning to the ball and back on the near side once again. Cross along in the middle. 35 yards out in the middle of the field. Crack at it. And they score from 35 yards out. Griffin takes the shot. That's in the upper right corner. Floated inside the corner, scoring in the same spot as the last goal, and the Timbers have taken a 2-0 lead. This goal in the 32nd minute, as Griffin will score his first of the season. So now it's 2-0 Portland, and for the first time this season, goalkeeper Chase Harrison has given up 2 goals in a match. Now Duda with a foot sends it through midfield. Griffin gets the goal. And I don't hear any announcement for an assist. Pass up the left wing side. Pelguda has it at the 18, near into the box. Throws it out top. Menyunger turning, looking around. Spins back to his left, trying to get away. Grabbed onto by Podol. As he slowed up, pulled off the ball. A foul is called. The Rhinos will have the free kick 20 yards out at the near corner of the box. Menyunger, quick restart. Chip down into the 6th. And up in the air to bring it down is Wicks, the keeper. Throws it off at the far side. So the Rhinos hole they have to try and climb out of gets deeper here. Played up the left wing, brought ahead by Haig as he moves by Aloisi. Chipped down along the 18 inside for the back post. Headed away by Pelguda, flicked out the near side. Recovered there by Bagley with the right foot. Sends it down in front, but that's dotted away and out of the box. Coming down around the 35, Griffin takes a look at the net again, but it's headed away by Perry. Off of the far wing, Aloisi and underneath it. Blocked to the outside, and Haig will, with the left footed, put it out deep in the far corner. Grabbed to the far end of the 18 by Perry. Outside, Aloisi, his own 35 on the right wing. Rolls the ball ahead through midfield, but take it back by the Timbers. Played through midfield. Blocked out of the midfield line and recovered there by Gregor. Pass ahead. Turning back toward the middle. Sneaking in on the ball is Aloisi. Takes it away. And Burtz with a feed forward. Center circle after Menyunger. with the right foot, delivers off of the far wing. Diallo trying to get it behind. Diallo chased there, right foot, a roller in, but way wide left. Out over the end line as he was being bothered and hounded from behind as he was trying to take that shot. Goal kick for the Timbers. 34th minute. Portland up 2-zip. Wicks, the keeper. Set for the goal kick. Takes his time. Of course, Portland now will waste as much time as possible. Nobody pressuring. So Wicks just standing there. There is a substitution coming up. Diallo will be coming off, and looks like Ray Martinez is in. 35th minute. First sub of the match. So Martinez, who scored a goal last night, checking in early here tonight. And as I was talking about pregame, I expected there to be some substitutions earlier than normal, with the fatigue factor setting in on the Rhinos. A lot of travel, very little sleep. Back-to-back games, pass up midfield, give and go. Martinez to the outside for Balguda. Trying to overlap, runs into Thompson. Ball rolls out over the end line, and a foul is called. Free kick for the Timbers from about their own 2 deep in the corner. So Diallo is out. Martinez is in. Wicks will take the kick. Gains about 10 yards, rolling the ball ahead. And with the right foot, drives it out through midfield. Coming down to the Rochester 35, flick forward. Underneath it, Balguda, but nodded to the outside by Perry. With the left foot, volleys it ahead on the near side, but that's out of bounds. Black couldn't get to it. 36th minute and a 2-0 Portland lead. Rhinos still have another player up, warming up across the way. Throw in on the near side for Thompson of the Timbers. 40 yards out of the near wing, 35 yards out. Going for the throw into the near corner of the box. Turning in behind is Jordan, and the ball played on top. The other Thompson, Jordan, plays it down to the 18, and it's headed away on the outside. Nodded forward by Aloisi. On the far touchline, getting to it with the right foot, sends it through midfield. Checking back, Delicott tips it to the outside, but Martinez, no way he's going to reach that one. That one skips out of bounds across the way. Throw in on the far side for the Timbers, their own side of midfield. Here's the high throw in across midfield. Aloisi heads it in the air. Off of the far wing, big bounce coming down to the midfield line, nodded forward. And now recovered by Martinez. The Rhinos have it. Ball drops it back. Aloisi, one touch ahead, and turned upfield by John Ball. Trying to get loose to the outside. Martinez along the far wing. Down to the 15. Cross in front. Skips through the box. Punched away on the near side by Wicks. And the Rhinos can't get to it. Off of the near side. Carried upfield by Thompson. Out through midfield into Rhino territory. Quick attack. Sneaking in behind. But the ball bounced away from Jordan. And recovered by the Rhinos down inside their own 18. Taken by Aloisi. With the right foot. Sends it out through midfield. Nodded back into Rhino territory. Knocked down for Bonsu. Rhinos have it to the outside on the near wing. Balguda moves up to the midfield line. Turns it to the outside for Black. Rolls it ahead on the near side for Menyonger. Looks back. Drops it off. 35 yards out. Black bringing it forward. Little move to get around Krummelmeyer as he is bounced off the ball heavily by Knowles, and the yellow card is issued. 38th minute, and Knowles will draw the plastic. First caution of the night against Portland. Free kick for the Rhinos. 25 yards out off the left wing side. Rochester would dearly love to get one back before the end of the first half, trying to climb back into this game, now trailing 2-0. It is delivered down inside for the back post by Menyonger, but headed away and out top. Getting to it. 30 yards out. Well, wait a minute. The flag on the far side of the field is in the air, so it is a free kick for the Timbers. 38th minute. 2-0 lead for Portland. Ball placed. Wicks will roll it ahead. And once again gaining 10, 12 yards before he even bothers to take the kick. Sends it through midfield. Right now on the scoreboard it says 4 shots for the Timbers and none for the Rhinos. I have it 5-3. My total, of course, unofficial. 10 fouls against Rochester and 6 against Portland. On ahead. Interesting. 2 saves. That's interesting. 2 saves for the Timbers, but no shots for the Rhinos. Now, how do you get that? How could there be a save without a shot? I don't know. Back at midfield. Restart for the Rhinos. Perry rolls it to the outside. Up the right wing is Aloisi. With the right foot, serves it down in front. Flicked toward the net by Delicott. Comes out the near end of the 6. Black plays it back in front. Delicott knocks it down. And the Rhinos can't get a shot away. 20 yards out. Ball drops it off. Younger turns to his left. Back to his right. Right-footed kick going for the frame. But that's blocked away and on top again. Younger in underneath it. Tips it back in the midfield circle. Birds up the left wing side of Palguda, but the whistle is blown. And a foul is called on the Timbers. Restart for the Rhinos. 40 yards out. Directly in the middle of the field. And Younger wanting the free kick. He'll go out to the outside of the near wing for Black. With the left foot, serves it down inside the 18. Headed up in the air by Bonsu. Moving in. Unable to get a shot away as Martinez has the ball played out top. Botted forward on the left wing side. Greger on the attack. Pass through. Perry gets to it. Knocked down, but taken away. And turning back inside is Black to get his left foot on it. Booted away before Jordan could get a shot off. Jordan with one of the goals scored by the Timbers so far this year. Out the right side, the Rhinos bring it forward. 40th minute, 2-0 lead for Portland. Cross midfield on the attack. Martinez drops it off center circle. Bonsu tips it to the outside of the near wing for Palguda. Top the left wing side for Shirley Black. Long ahead on the left wing, and underneath it is Martinez. Chase deep to the corner. Turning there, being watched 1v1 with Knowles. Trying to not make it through. Sneaks the ball through, but that's kicked away on the near side and out by the Timbers. Throw in for the Rhinos on the near side of the field. Palguda for the throw-in. Now Black has the ball 25 yards out. Palguda moves over. He wants the ball for the throw-in. 2 substitutions for the Rhinos. Perry coming out and Ambersley going in. So a defender out and a forward in. Rhinos will try and get more attack going here. 41st minute time of this substitution. Ambersley's first game of the season has been out with a foot injury. All right. Nodded away. Out of bounds. Throwing on the near side for the Rhinos. Black to take the throw in. 35 yards out. Short of the throw in to Ambersley, but that's booted away on the near side and out. Another throw in for the Rhinos. Back near the midfield line. Birch rolling it ahead along the out of play, and Palguda now being chased back a few yards by the ref. And keep going. The throw in from back near midfield. Palguda up the left side. Headed in the ears. Delicott bumped from behind, and they'll say that is off of the Rhinos and out. So a throw in for the Timbers on the near side from the Portland 30. 42nd minute, 2-0 lead for Portland. On the near side, ball thrown in across midfield, and it snuck through. And Birch chasing it back. Bagley on him. Birch back here on the near side, but out of bounds. Throw in, quick one for the Timbers. Awful on the near side to Bagley, the throw in from Kremmelmeyer. As he's grabbed onto by Palguda, the whistle stops play. Free kick for Portland. Right wing side. 25 yards out. Greger. Left-footed kicker. Takes his time looking it over. The Rhinos have a 2-man wall at the near corner of the 18. Greger is complaining to the official about something. Now with the left foot, sends it down inside, but headed away by Ambersley out to near midfield. Ball got away from Thompson. No, from Griffin, rather. Spins around, comes up with it again. Knocked loose on top. Podol goes to the left wing side. It's recovered there by the Timbers, and a ball forward, snuck in front. And scooped up at his 6 by Harrison. Throws it out on the near side. Dropped back once again, and with the left foot, Palguda will deliver out through midfield. Delicott couldn't get up for the ball. That's knocked down to the center circle. Taken away by the Timbers. Dropped back across midfield, and Scott Thompson on the near side. Pass through midfield. In underneath it goes Ball. He'll drop it off for Palguda. And to Ambersley out near midfield. Chased off of the near wing, spinning around. Turning, trying to get away. Still has the ball. Ambersley chased back by Haig, and he'll then play it through, switching it off onto the right wing side for Aloisi. Bagley on him. Aloisi chips it up the far wing. That's off the left foot of Martinez and out. Throw it at the midfield line on the far side for the Timbers. 44th minute and a 2-0 lead for Portland. Cleared along the left wing side. Now Aloisi heads it in the air, but that again out of bounds. Another throw-in across the way for the Timbers. Other sponsors of these broadcasts this season includes Weigel's, the official hot dog at Paytech Park. Also by Cintas, the service professionals. Discover what Cintas can do for your organization. Brought away by the Rhinos, pass into the middle. As Ambersley lets it roll through to the near side for Shirley Black. Up the left wing, it's approaching the midfield line. Turns it to the outside, overlapping is Palguda. Seeks it back in the middle for Ambersley. Return pass to the outside, Palguda after it, but the Timbers get back for it. Popped up in the air out of bounds on the near side by Krummelmeyer. A throw in for the Rhinos. Black to take the throw in from 20 yards out on the near side. Goes short to Ambersley, right back to Black. On the near wing as he's watched there. Pass off, near corner of the 18 for Ambersley. Rolls along the 18 for Younger. Spinning, trying to get loose. Turns to his right, trying to get it through. Spinning around with the ball, still has it. And it's dropped off. Ball from 35 out. Pass forward to Martinez. Tried to one-touch it back, but that's intercepted. Laid out to the center circle. Birch moving in. A big bump there. And he's going to get a yellow card. Kenny Birch is going to get the plastic. The referee calling him. Now draws out the card. 45th minute. And Birch with the yellow. So, free kick for the Timbers, their own side of midfield. Don't forget about Tuesday night, Paytech Park at Rochester. The U.S. Under-20 men's national team, led by Freddie Adu, takes on the Argentina Under-20 men's national team. And that's Paytech Park coming up Tuesday night, 7 o'clock kickoff time. Tickets available at the Paytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com. You can call Ticketmaster at 232-1900. That's headed down inside. The 18 nodded to the outside. Over the end line, as Black said no, he got a hold of it to keep it in and push it out over the touchline. So a throw in deep in the corner. No, it'll be placed. They did call a corner kick. And so the corner to be taken by Greger of the Timbers. Greger scored his league-leading 4th goal of the season to open the scoring here tonight. With the low kick into the box. Tipped it on the 6, tipped away to that, punched away. Out top again, another shot in, but blocked away. Off the leg of Delicate over the end line. Great punch save right there by Harrison. And the ball will be played out over the end line. Another corner. Corner kick off the left wing side this time for the Timbers. As we're in stoppage time. Delivered down inside. Headed away, not an in. Blocked off the line. And the ball at the 6. Pushed away on top. And finally, it's spun away and out of the box by Ball. And the whistle has blown. And that ends the first half of play. Well, not a great first half for the Rhinos. Looking a little sluggish here in the first half of play. On the other hand, the Portland Timbers looking very fresh. And certainly capitalized. Taking advantage of it, a lot of pressure applied by the Timbers, and they scored a couple. So we've completed one half of play here at PGE Park. And after one half, it is the Portland Timbers 2 and the Rochester Rhinos nothing. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. PGE Park here in Portland as the Timbers have taken a 2-0 lead over the Rhinos. And Portland threatening now to come up with their first win against the Rhinos. Coming into this one, I think the Rhinos had a 5-0-1 record against Portland, so it's not off to a great start here against Portland. Last year in this building, the Rhinos came away with a 1-0 victory. As we take a look at the first half statistics, brought to you by Nothing Realtors. Now, that's the starting lineup. So first half statistics brought to you by Time Warner. Get all-in-one digital cable, Roadrunner, and digital phone. One simple package and one low price at Time Warner. First goal of the match coming up at the 24th minute, and the goal was scored by Greger. Andrew Greger scoring his league-leading 4th of the season, and the Timbers out to a 1-0 lead, then added another one in the 32nd minute, and this one was scored by Leonard Griffin, as Griffin puts it away for his first of the season, and the Timbers with 2 goals in the first half, taking a 2-0 lead. Unofficial stats, I had 6 shots for Portland and 3 for the Rhinos. Again, these are unofficial. Corner kicks, 3 for Portland, 2 for Rochester. Offsides, 3 against the Rhinos, and no offsides against Portland. And so Harrison, for the first time this season, allows more than 1 goal against in a game. And a 1.0 coming into this one. Tonight so far in the first half of play gave up 2. At the other end, Wicks is looking for the shutout as the Timbers have a 2-0 lead over the Rhinos. Wicks has not had a shutout yet this season. He has played all 3 games for the Timbers so far. All right, so there's your first half statistics. Coming up next, we'll be talking with Johnny Younger of the Rhinos and another year back here in Rochester. And a fine young man he is. We'll hear from him in just a moment. So stick with us for our halftime intermission interview coming up next. At the half, it's the Timbers leading the Rhinos 2-0, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Back once again at PGE Park at Portland. It's a gorgeous night. Things going well, except for what's happening on the field for the Rhinos, as it is a 2-0 lead for the Timbers through one half of play. Time now for tonight's intermission interview, brought to you by Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. And talking this evening with the Rhinos midfielder/forward, Johnny Menyunger, who comes into this game leading the Rhinos with 2 goals, 5 points on the season, and off to an excellent start this year. Talked to him and asked him about, well, he must be pretty happy with his start so far this season.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Things going well for the team. So as long as it's going well for the team, then it's going well for me. So, all the guys, thinking positive. So that's good for the team.
Of course, you're getting the points. You've got a couple of goals and assists and moving up the ladder in that respect. But what other ways are things going well for you?
I'm in good shape right now, and no matter what position the coach used me at the time, attacking midfield, up front with Daly or Ahmed, it doesn't matter what position I play, but I'm in good shape right now. The preseason was pretty decent because playing against a major league team was good for the organization. So, it was pretty good. So we'll move forward from there.
To me, you look very good this year. In fact, I remember saying last night during the game that I thought you were playing as well now as you ever have for the Rhinos. Would you feel that way?
Yeah. Last year, the fan, the organization, they expect a lot from me than what I gave them. But it was a new organization. It was a change, but I had to handle it the best way I could, and it was. Maybe it was not time for me to score a lot of goals for the Rhinos last year, but because they know that I'm a goal scorer in this league, so the organization was expecting a lot from me. But sometimes it don't happen like that. You get disappointed, but that will make you a professional player, and you handle that the best way and you always get a second chance.
Yeah. I think you look more relaxed. Were you feeling a lot of pressure last season?
No, not that I was feeling a lot of pressure. I think I wanted to do too much because it was a new organization, and I didn't get enough rest per se over the winter. I started too early training. I gave myself only 1 month break because I was coming to a new organization, and I was in the gym a lot more, and I was doing too much. I think it was just the pressure. I wanted to do too much and help the team a lot, and it didn't work out the way I wanted to do it, and I lost in the final and everything. So it was good. We went to the final. It's an experience, and I've been there a lot of time. I never won it. In the USA, I won championship other places, but the most important thing is if the team is playing well, then that's good for us.
It seems like maybe your confidence level is there, like I say, relaxed, but confidence, it all sort of goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah. Getting to know some of the players I played with last year and some of them here, make it much easier because for every organization you come in, you got to adjust, the situation, how you play with other guys, how the guys know you. You got to know all your players' strength, and knowing players' strength now is much easier, and they're going to believe in you, and you're going to believe in them.
Talking with Johnny Menyunger of the Rhinos as he is off to another season. An excellent start with the Rhinos this season. We'll continue the conversation in a moment. We're at the half here at PGE Park in Portland, and it is a 2-0 deficit for the Rhinos as Portland out on top with 2 first-half goals. We'll continue momentarily, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. 2-0 lead in favor of the Portland Timbers after the first half of play. Second half action coming up in just a couple of moments. Continuing our conversation with the Rhinos' leading scorer thus far this season, Johnny Menyunger, 2 goals and 5 assists. Or 5 points make that. He has 1 assist for 5 points. There we go.
So this year you played mostly in the midfield position, whereas you've been bounced back and forth up front and in the midfield. Do you feel more comfortable again at home in the midfield?
as I said, wherever coach played me at that time for the club, I would take it, and because it's not all about Johnny got to play up front or Johnny got to play midfield. That's the only place come to. I play midfield and playing up front. Wherever he need me at that time for the club, I would fit in.
You mentioned the going to the finals and of course losing in the finals. Was that a devastating thing for you, not winning that game?
Yeah, I think we should have done way better because we met these team guys in the regular season. We beat them 2-0 at home, and coming to the final losing 3-0 was frustrating. But as I said, soccer will give you a second chance for every time you step on the field. That's another chance for you. Even a training session, that's another chance. So that's the opportunity with soccer. If you're 15 years career or 20 years career you play for, every day you step on the field is another opportunity.
Is this team different this year? There's a few new faces, of course, but is it different from what you had here last year?
We had a lot of talent here last year as compared to this year. It just maybe it took a little bit off the coach because there were a lot of older guys and got a lot of guys that been in the league a lot, and everybody wanted playing time. So I think it was more pressure because coach probably told them the role they were going to be playing, and when they came in, they got comfortable and everybody wanted to be playing. So it was too much pressure on a lot of the players that we hired last year, and bringing in more young guys and the stepping up maybe are going to help the team too. But comparing to last year and this year, it's not a big difference. It just probably experiencing age from last year. Maybe we'll miss one or two guys, because they've been around for a while. But the young guys, the fresh leg can help her too. Yeah.
I'm sure there was a major blow to the team just a few weeks ago with Scott Vallow going out injured, but Harrison has stepped in, has done a good job. You guys feeling confident about him now?
Yeah, for the first time I heard it about Vallow, and a couple of the guys, they must have started talking, and a lot of players was down, and before I went up to Vallow, I went up to Chase. I like, hey Chase, here you go. It came too early for you. I talked to he and Hector. I like, it came too early for you guys, and that's what you being a professional for. So you got to handle it the best way, because if Vallow can't go anymore, it's you guys were depending on. So you got to step it up. You can't be thinking, oh, I was not ready for it. So you got to put that behind you and step up. Because if you don't step up, I was pre-season or this season was just going to go in vain.
Johnny Benyonga talking about the situation as far as the Rhinos are concerned, and the situation right now is trailing 2-0 at the half, so they'll have to try and get back in it here in the second half, which is coming up in just a moment. Through the first half of play, it's a 2-0 lead for the Timbers, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. About to get started here in the second half. One substitution for the home team, the Timbers. Lara is in the match, Kiki Lara, in the 45th minute coming in. And so for the Rhinos, looks like the same. They've had two subs played in the first half, and the ball chipped down into Rhino territory, which is now to my left here in the second half of play. Headed away on the far side, rolls out of bounds. Throw in for the Timbers on the far side of the field, just across midfield. Long throw in deep to the corner by Thompson. Couple of bounces to the end line, trying to feed it out in front is Jordan, and the ball blocked away in the corner, and it's out over the end line. And that off of the Timbers, so it'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Just getting started here in the second half. The official stat sheet had Portland out shooting Rochester 6-2. Two saves for the keeper Harrison of the Rhinos. No saves credited to Wick, so they got that straightened around. 14 fouls for Rochester and 10 against Portland. 2 corner kicks each. Rochester 3 offsides. That's the official first half stats. As there were assists awarded on each goal, Greger assisted by Bagley, the former Rhino. On the first goal, Griffin assisted by Greger. In the second goal, the ball played out over the end line. And this off the Rhinos, so a corner kick for the Portland Timbers. Corner off the right wing side. Moving over is Greger. Again, a goal and an assist. He has league leading 4 goals on the season now, with another point gives him 9 points on the season. Rager set to serve it up with the left foot, low into the box. That's knocked down on the 6 and a goal. Grabbed on one hop by Harrison. Came up with it in the right spot, throws it out of the right wing, and running onto the ball goes Martinez. Past midfield. Boom, boom, Ray Martinez up the right side, being watched closely as he draws it toward the end of the line to get away from Podol. Stops, 15 yards out, looking for the cross, turns back to the right foot, and cross down in front, and grabbed off the crossbar by Wicks. Well, the Rhinos get it to within about a foot of the goal line, but Wicks grabs it off the crossbar. Plays the ball away, kicks it out through midfield. Rochester trailing 2-0 as the Timbers scored in the 24th and 32nd minutes. Headed away out of bounds on the far side by the Rhinos. Throw in for the Timbers. On the Rochester 35 on the far side. Throw in to be taken by Krummelmeyer. On throw in along the 35. Drop back. Taken away by Ambersley. The Rhinos have it. Ambersley into the center circle. Out for Ben Younger. Past the midfield line. Draws it on the right wing side to Martinez. As he is watched, bringing it forward, drops it back once again, and played toward the middle, checking back at the ball. And Younger dummies it through, and after Delicott, the near end of the 18, trying to cross in front, rolls to the end line. It's off the leg of the defender and out over the end line. A corner kick for Rochester. Moving over for the corner. Looks like Palguda. 48th minute. 2-0 lead for the Timbers. Rochester coming in tonight, a 2-1-2 record on the season. Now the Timbers, even on the 500 mark, have 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie. Felt good with the left foot, serves it low in the box. Headed away in a goal, and punched off the line. Wow, great shot opportunity there, but that's kicked away or punched off the line by Wicks. Comes out of the near side, is run over is Jordan, and the foul is called on the Rhinos. So Rochester with a couple of shots here in the first half of play, looking to provide more pressure here in the second half. Playing up the left wing side, and back for it goes Birch with the right foot, drives it ahead. Big bounce of the ball. Podol heads it forward, but Birch will knot it the other way. Then Podol knocks it down, comes loose in front the 35-yard line of the Rhinos in, and a foul is called. Podol went down, and Martinez is charged. Free kick for Portland, 35 yards out, directly in the middle of the field. Rochester home game will be the 27th of May, May 27th. First 10,000 fans will receive a soccer ball magnetic schedule courtesy of Salvatore's. And again on Sunday, May 27th, a 6 o'clock kickoff time on Italian night at Paytech Park. Looking for the kick. Be taken by the Timbers, left-footed, and the frame missing wide as it spins out wide right over the end line, and it'll be a goal kick coming up. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Don't forget about the women's team getting underway. Women's soccer team starting out at Paytech Park on Friday night, May 25th, the same weekend. Kickoff time 7:35. For all of these events, tickets are available at the Paytech Park box office, or contact Ticketmaster online at Ticketmaster.com or on the phone at 232-1900. Cross midfield. Battle now in Portland territory in the far wing. Out of bounds throw in for the Rhinos. Out the left wing side to the corner, but that's booted away. Out into the stands on the far side. Throw in for the Rhinos. Deep in the left wing corner. And Younger will leave it there. Palguda moving up, and now Birch will move up for the throw in. This again off the left wing side. A throw in from about 15 yards off the end line. Birch backing up a couple of steps. High looping throw in, coming down 10 yards out as they bump, and it's headed away out the near side, flicked outside the box. Moving in, blocked there, but that's pounded high in the air and across midfield. On the near side, Aloisi able to backheel it across the midfield line, but recovered and brought forward now by the Timbers. Rager on the left side, long cross to the far side, running goes Krummelmeyer. Won't get to it as the ball skips out of bounds, and a throw in for the Rhinos on the far side of the field, down around their own 18. Palguda moving over for the throw-in. Rochester now getting its players up off the bench for warming up as Delicott taken down, but yeah, a foul was called. Available for substitution still in this game are Kevin Novak, Chad Sievers, Nate Kraft, Danny Kramer. Players that did not make the trip: Ryan Wildman, P.J. Shifley, Kevin Burns, Josh Bolton, and of course out injured Scott Dallow and Aaron Lines. Lines, by the way, the former Portland Timber, I'm sure would have loved to have been here for this one. Lighted downfield into Rhino territory. Bonsu battling 1v1 with Bagley. Bagley Fights it over the near side. It's knocked down with the left foot played up over the crossbar, but a foul is called on the Rhinos. Free kick for Portland. Far corner of the box. Actually down around the 16. At the far end of the 18 box. Gregor will place the ball for the kick. 52nd minute. Portland up 2-zip. Rhinos a couple of shots to begin the second half. Looking to try and get something going to get back in this game. Of course, the Timbers looking to add a little insurance to their 2-goal lead. Gregor with a goal and an assist already. Ready to take the kick. With the left-footed. In-swinging kick. Here it comes, low over the box, hits the wall, and played away, volleyed out across the midfield, or out across the 18 to about the 25 by Ben Younger. But the whistle to stop play, and in behind the play, Aloisi is down on the pitch and not getting up. Referee over to take a look at Chris Aloisi, and the trainer, Dave DiPasquale, is being called out onto the field to take a look at Aloisi. So we'll have a momentary stoppage in play here. And don't forget, of course, the Rhinos will be with you on Friday night along our broadcast network from Seattle, Quest Field in Seattle. And our broadcast will be 9:30 Rochester time, 9:30 Rochester time for a 10 o'clock start Rochester time. And in Seattle, it will be a 7 o'clock kickoff. So that's our next broadcast next Friday. And then, of course, next Sunday, a week from today, the road trip will wind up in Vancouver. So Friday and Sunday next weekend, the Rhinos will be in action. And, of course, Tuesday night, the U.S. Under-20 men's national team, led by Freddie Adu, will take on the Argentina Under-20 men's national team at Paytech Park. That is next Tuesday, the 15th. Tuesday, the 15th. You can get tickets at the Paytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com, or call Ticketmaster at 232-1900. And for groups of 10 or more, call 454-5425 to get your group rates, 454-5425. Aloisi rolls over onto his back. Looks like maybe he had the wind knocked out of him as he sits up. Being attended to by DiPasquale. And they're going to change it up. DiPasquale signaling over to the bench to get a sub in now for Aloisi. It's up, but he's very wobbly. Goes back to a knee. He got up, but now he's going to sit right back down as he is very wobbly. And the Rhinos will get a sub ready to check in. It looks like it's going to be Novak. He has taken the warm-up sweats off and is warming up still on the far side as the rest of the available Rochester players are also warming up across the way. But Aloisi shaken up on the play. Got up momentarily, but looked very wobbly, and he went right back down to a knee and then sat down. First year with the Rhinos. Chris Aloisi, again out of North Babylon, New York. 5'10", 160. Saw a lot of action in this game today. He had many touches on the ball. 55th minute here in Portland. And it is a 2-0 lead for the Timbers. Taking every precaution, it looks like, for Aloisi as they are bringing a stretcher out onto the pitch. Again, he went to get up and try and walk away, but was very wobbly and sat right back down, being held there by the Rhinos trainer, Dave DiPasquale. I think he probably got knocked on the noggin. Only speculation, but it looks like that way. That he probably took a pretty good bump. So as they attend now to Chris Aloisi. Play is halted here. And the clock continues to run now, hitting the 56th minute. The Rhinos are trailing 2-0. Now this game, Rochester losing the first game of the season, but have been unbeaten since that point, with 2 ties and a win. Rhinos coach now, Laurie Calloway, coming out. He's going to check in with Aloisi. 2 wins and 2 ties, that is, after the first game. Now, Aloisi is up, and he is going to walk off the side. So that's good news. He is being helped by teammates and the trainer, but the stretcher not needed as Aloisi will be helped off. And now coming in will be Novak. Novak in for the Rhinos. Kevin Novak, 24-year-old out of L.A., played for Real Salt Lake in the MLS last year. 57th minute, Novak coming in. So that's 3 subs in the game now for the Rhinos. All right, we'll get play underway once again. Ball kicked downfield to the keeper, which picks it up, has it inside of his 18. 58th minute, 2-0 lead for Portland. Right-footed volley kick through midfield. Off of the far wing, underneath it, Krummelmeyer nods it forward, but DePalguda with the left foot will jam it back across midfield into Portland territory, trying to get away. Delicott blocked it to head, but Thompson turning back recovers the ball and plays it to the outside. That's out over the touchline. No, evidently was not, as play goes on. On away upfield, through midfield on the near side. That's dotted forward, but underneath it is Birch. The Rhinos take it away. Across midfield for Martinez. Drops it off. Ball, one touch in the center circle, Ambersley. Return pass off to his right for Martinez. Spins to get away from Griffin. And the foul is called. Restart for the Rhinos. Ball chips it on the right side. Moving to the end line is Novak. A roller along the end line, but a dribbler. And Novak take it down. Gets back up again. Knocks it away on the near side. Moving in is Martinez on the right side. Looking for the cross, but blocked away. Out over the touchline by Justin Thompson. Throw into the near side for the Rhinos. Martinez will leave it there for Birch. 58th minute. Birch backing up. Throwing off the right wing side. Players moving around inside the 6. Low line drive throw in, and it's booted away off the 6. Outside the box, moving in, headed in the air by Ball. Up in the air, Wicks brings it down as he runs into Delicott from behind, bowls him over, and the ball is grabbed by the keeper. Rolls to the head out of the box in the far wing. Right away up the right side, up to the midfield line. As Ball moving in, gets tangled up, and a foul is called on Ball, so it'll be a free kick for Portland at the midfield line. 59th minute here in Portland. And a 2-0 lead for the Timbers. Looking for a ball so they can get it restarted here. Ball set at midfield. And here's the left-footed service downfield. After Jordan at the far end of the 18, watched by Bonsu. Turns back to the right and then to the outside. Black moving in, but as he's tugged, it rolled away off his foot and out. So throw it to the far side for the Timbers once again. It'll be taken by Scott Thompson. The throw in. Gregor chips it down inside the 18. Blocked away out on the 18 and carried off. Ambersley feeds it out. Martinez will drop it back and turning back for it. As bowled over from behind is Novak, and the whistle stops play. The foul is called on the Timbers. Harrison will take the kick. Delivers it out through midfield, headed back into the center circle. Nodded forward once again. As the ball knocked down, taken by the Timbers. Stepping in, Black couldn't get away. Recovered again by Portland. Laid up the near wing by Griffin across midfield. And that shipped toward the middle for Lara. Kiki Lara into the game. 25-year-old out of Las Cruces, played for the Minnesota Thunder. There's a former teammate of Johnny Van-Younger here before last in Minnesota. And the ball along the 35, recovered by the Rhinos. Ambersley drops it back on the near wing in the corner. Novak spins it up the right side, but Martinez can't get to it. And rolls away out over the touchline. Throw it to the near side for Gregor on the Timbers. Throw into the near corner of the 18. Knotted off in the corner. Ball rolling to the end line. And this will be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Phoenix Graphics for all your printing needs. By Foodlink, Abundance Shared. Also by the Farish Group. The best seat in the house is your Farish apartment. See them all at Farish.com. Ball to the 6. I do see Aloisi walking along the end of the field now toward the locker room, and he is walking under his own power and seems to be very stable now, so that certainly is a good sign. Aloisi, as he was pretty wobbly a little bit ago, but seems to be all right now. We'll walk it off, and he, of course, is done for the night. Cross midfield with a free kick for the Timbers. 61st minute. 2-0 lead for Portland. Rhinos trying to nail one here to get back in the game. Gregor set for the kick with the left foot. Drives it down to the 20, headed away by Embersley out top, but settled there by Podol. Turns and plays it to the outside of the far wing. Deep to the corner goes Jordan, looking for the crossing foot, blocked the way out over the end line off of Black. And so a corner kick for Portland. And 2 corners in the first half. Just drawing their second one right here in the second half. Off the right wing side. Left-footed kick of Gregor will be an in-swinging kick. Sends it down inside along the 6. And it's booted out over the end line. Off of Palguda once again. Another corner for the Timbers. At this time it'll be off the left wing side. 62nd minute. Looks like Kremmelmeyer who's going to take the corner this time. Yes, it is Kremmelmeyer. Off the left wing side, a right-footed kicker, another in-swinger. He slipped and went down, sends it out along the top of the 18, and the ball blocked and brought away upfield by Ball. Turns it to the outside of the right wing for Martinez on the attack. Midfield, the outside for Menyonger along the near touchline. Turns, he's grabbed by Podol, taken down. And a foul is called, so it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos just across midfield on the near side. Kick to be taken by Novak. Right now they show on the scoreboard the Timbers with 7 shots, the Rhinos with 3. Novak sends it down to the 20, and the ball is knotted away and out on the far wing. Palguda pushing it forward with the left foot. Turning around, Shirley Black looking for the kick but can't go for it. Plays it to the outside. Palguda again along the far wing. Drops it back for Black, 25 yards out. Turns back, being hounded there, grabbed onto, but drops it off for Bonsu. Rolls it through and on the near wing. Moving up Novak on the right side. Delivers down inside the 18. Palguda moving in. Hit ball in, but blocked away out over the end line. A corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester corner. Had 2 in the first half. This is their second of the second half. Ball moving over for the throw-in off the left wing side. See, Podol has gone over to the Portland Timbers bench for some reason. And looked like maybe something medical. Turned along the left wing side. Cross back in front. And out to grab it at his 3. Here's the keeper, Wicks. Well, the Rhinos get it inside the box, but couldn't finish on it. 64th minute. Ball set there at the 18, and Wicks with the right foot will drive it out through midfield. Coming down to the Rochester 30, headed away into the center circle once again by Bonsu. Big hop over top of Delicat, and the ball recovered once again by the Timbers. And the far wing is Podol. With the right foot, sends it downfield. Bonsu nods it away. Coming down to the 35, push forward. In the middle, Jordan drops it down. Embersley had it momentarily but lost it. And Jordan but overruns the ball. And the Rhinos then will clear it away off on the near side. Out to near midfield. Taken there by Griffin. Pass ahead. Tip to the open left wing side. And ball spinning off at the near end of the 18. Birch with it. Will pass off of the near wing and taken there by Martinez. Keeps it in play. Nifty move to get away. Spinning around, one-on-one. He's grabbed onto it. A foul is called on Lara. And so a restart for the Rhinos. Cross midfield. Novak plays it off along the midfield line. Taken there by Ball. Looks it to the outside. Martinez along the near wing on the near touchline is dumped. No call made. Into how about Novak stepping in now. Ball will block it away, but that got away from him and out of bounds. Throw in for the Timbers on the near side. One touch right back to the outside again for Lara. And a pass ahead to give a go. The ball comes loose. Tripped up and taken down. Was ball and a foul is called on the Timbers. Well, the restart for the Rhinos at the midfield line. Embersley into the center circle for Black. Stephen Shirley Black up the left wing side to the outside. That's intercepted, carried away by Scott Thompson on the midfield line for Bagley. Turns it into Rhino territory. Bagley played for the Rhinos last year, 6 games. Here's a cross down in front, blocked away by Birch. With the left foot, turns and drives it off at the far wing, and it skips up over the Portland player bench. So it'll be a free kick for the Timbers, or rather a throw-in for the Timbers on the far side. Scott Thompson back near midfield for the throw-in. 66th minute. Portland up 2-0. Now Podol being sent to the bench once again. I'm not sure. Maybe he has a bloody nose or something. He's being sent off. Looked like they were working up around the nose area. Goes back to the bench. And it would appear the same thing again. Ball is bouncing down inside the 18, blocked to near the end line, and it rolls out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Rhinos. Goal kick for Rochester. Other sponsors tonight include the Distillery, now opening Grease at Ridge Road and 390. By Dodge, grab life by the horns. That's Dodge. Also by Connors and Ferris, Workers' Comp, and Social Security attorneys. Call 262-COMP. Fighted through midfield over the far wing, nodded back toward the middle by Delicott, but blocked away and across midfield. Here come the Timbers. Spinning around Kremmelmeyer, turning to the outside as he's bumped there by Black. And Black turns back, takes the ball away. Another spin around, still has it. Drops it off for Bonsu. To the outside of the left wing for Palguda, drawing it forward. Chips it out through midfield toward the center circle. Delicott blocks to the side. Ball turning back, able to play it off of the near wing for Novak. Out the right side, being watched closely. Drops it back away from Lara, and along his 35, taken by Birch. Line drive kick through midfield. Touch forward by Delicott. Rolling down inside the 18, but out to scoop up the rolling ball is the keeper. Wicks beats Ben Younger to the ball. So the Timbers have possession. Wicks high floating kick through midfield. Coming down to the Rochester 35. That stopped there by Bagley, then booted away across midfield by Birch, and turning back for it goes Griffin for the Timbers. Blocks Younger away. Ball rolls out. Throw it in the near side for the Timbers at their own 30. Throw it. Cross midfield. Headed in the air by Novak. Moved across midfield by Birch as Martinez is grabbed onto. Gives a return push. And the ball will be, as a foul is called on the Timbers, a free kick for the Rhinos, just across the midfield line. Set to serve it up. Novak drawing it forward with the right foot. Will chip it down to the 20. Headed away off of the center circle. Bonsu gets the right foot on it. Pops up in the air off of the far wing. Blocked away by Thompson on the wing, and now cleared through and downfield into Rhino territory. Turning back for it goes Bonsu. And blocked down inside the 18 and out to dive on it is Harrison. Looks like Bonsu has moved back into a central defender position. He's been kind of a withdrawn midfielder, but right now is playing, looks like in line with Birch. Balguda to the outside of the left wing. And Novak back on the right side, of course, with Aloisi coming out of the match. On the near side, it's controlled by Portland from their own 30 and out to midfield. Novak gets the right foot on it to knock it down. Martinez back heel for Delicott. Slips it up the right side, rolling to the end line, and there's Wicks to stop it before it crosses the end line. So the Portland keeper has the ball. Pressure applied by Younger. The ball picked up. 69th minute. As the Rhinos trail 2-0. Perhaps some more substitutions coming up for the Rhinos. Looks like Aaron Lyons getting ready to check in. Or not Aaron Lyons, but rather Nate Kraft. Lyons, of course, injured, not along on the trip. Rochester's made 3 subs so far. Still have available Severs, Kraft, and Kramer. And I'm sure there's a lot of players right now for the Rhinos that are running out of gas here. Back-to-back nights on a lot of travel. 70th minute. Foul call to the Rhinos and a free kick for Portland. 40 yards out off the left wing. Once again, it's Gregor ready to serve it up. Set to go, left-footed kick. Blocked away by Martinez. And coming down to the middle, 40 yards out. Played back into the center circle, and Griffin with it there. Turns it to the outside of the near wing, taken by Gregor. With the left foot, sends it down in front, but Bonsu heads it away. It's settled there. Thompson with a one-timer in. And it's picked up in the second hop by Harrison. And the Rhino keeper has the ball. Waits for the players to move away with the right foot, boots it away downfield. Blocked out on the near side. Popped up in the air back into Rhino territory, but shanked out of bounds on the near side and a throw-in for the Rhinos. That's across midfield. Novak short of the throw-in to Martinez as he's bumped and dumped. And the ball is recovered. Play goes on. Portland with it. Podol will switch to the right wing side for Scott Thompson. Chasing him is Black. On the far wing, stepping up now. Hammersley can't get to it. Rhino territory. As after Bonsu tying up there with Jordan. And that's off the Rhinos and out. Substitutions here for the Rhinos. Rochester with substitutions. As Ball will check out. And Kraft is in, Younger is out, and Kramer is in. So these subs here in the 71st minute. Kraft and Kramer entering the match and Younger, and ball are off. And so that's 5 subs in the night for the Rhinos. Off of the far wing, final 20 minutes here. As the ball knocked away and out, foul is called on Rochester, and so a free kick on the far side of the field for the Timbers, just across the midfield line. Greger. There we have the referee talking to Martinez. And they move away. Evidently a foul was called on the Rhinos because Greger getting ready to take a kick. Well, he walks away from the ball now. And, of course, the Timbers taking all the time in the world to get this play underway once again. Knowles with the right foot chips it down to the 20 and moving in. Kramer but knocked away and then booted in the air out toward midfield. And it back toward the middle. In underneath it, Podol pushing it forward. Coming back, Jordan is run over by Birch, and the ball out into the center circle. Recovered there. Martinez away with it. Plays it to the outside on the left wing for Kraft. As he looks around, drops it back at the midfield line. Give and go. It's Palguda up the left side for Martinez. Turning along the far touchline, trying to sneak away from Podol and does. Far into the 18. Looking for the cross, but headed away. And out over the touchline, far side. Throw in for the Rhinos. Rochester with fresh legs in the field. Now we'll try and get something going here. Chip from the far side. Down in front. It's slighted over top of Kramer. And out the near side, brought away and upfield by the Timbers. 73rd minute from Portland. 2-0 lead for the Timbers, having scored back in the 24th and the 32nd minutes. On the near wing, blocked away by Kramer along the midfield line for Black. Draws it forward. Pass ahead for Ambersley. 35 out, trying to sneak it through to Martinez, but that's kicked away by the Timbers. Booted across midfield by Knowles. Center circle blocked to the outside. After the far wing, Palguda with the left foot feeds it down in the middle, headed away again by Knowles out toward midfield. In underneath it is Black, nods it down, and stepping up is Bonsu. As it gets away from him, recovered by the Timbers and carried across midfield. Bagley run from behind. Bonsu kicks it away, and it rolls out over the touchline on the near side. A throw in just across the midfield line for the Timbers. 74th minute. So now the clock becoming a factor. As the Rhinos down by 2, and it's the 74th minute. Ambersley with the left foot plays it through midfield, and chased back in his own end by Knowles of the Timbers. Off of the near side to Griffin. And the midfield stumping in to intercept momentarily Novak. And gets a hold of the ball on the near side. Turning there, grabbed onto. Foul is called on Lara. Free kick for the Rhinos. Near side. Round back of the midfield line for Black to the outside again for Novak. Plays it back to his own side of midfield for Birch. Switches to the left wing side. Cross midfield, Palguda. Drops it to the outside. Back to his own side of midfield for Bonsu. And looking around off of the left wing for Martinez. Pass to the middle, but that's behind Kraft. Turned the other way, and the ball is blocked across midfield. Birch in underneath it again. Pass forward to Nate Kraft, playing his first game of the season here tonight. Coming in late from the indoor team in Detroit. Getting just into game shape for the outdoor side. And the ball played across midfield. It's turned along the left wing side, trying to get loose as Palguda draws it ahead, gets away. Out to the far end of the 18. Martinez down to the 10, trying to bring it out in front, but blocked away. Off of the far wing, and that's chipped out across midfield and into the out of play, and it'll be a throw in on the far side for the Rhinos. 35 yards out. 3,041 the attendance here tonight. 3,041. Throw in, 35 yards out off the left wing side. Short on the throw in to Martinez as he's double teamed there. Kremmelmeyer takes it away, tried to play upfield, but blocked away by Martinez out over the touchline. A throw in on the far side once again for the Timbers. Long throw in out to near midfield. Off the left foot of Bonsu. Up in the air, able to nod it back for Birch. Steps in to take it away, but gets tied up there, then blocks it aside. Rhinos still have it. Kramer. Cross midfield on the left wing, trying to get away after Martinez. Dropping it back, Palguda moving forward. Looks around, lays it off in the middle. Turning upfield is Ambersley. Turns to his left, out of the 18, plays at the far end of the 18. Right along the end, it's Martinez. Right closely there. Blocked it away from him, got it back. Chips it along the 18 in front, but booted away by Podol on the far side out to midfield. Taken by Birch of the Rhinos. Chips it back in the middle, not into the outside by Black, but the ball recovered by the Timbers, and then cleared downfield. Foul is called. And a yellow card issued to Bonsu. Benoit Bonsu getting the yellow card in the 77th minute. So a restart for the Timbers. Cross midfield in Rhino territory. 77th minute and a 2-0 lead for Portland. Rhinos continuing this road trip Friday night from Quest Field in Seattle. And we'll have the broadcast beginning at 9:30 along our network. 9:30 next Friday night. Rhinos returning home on Sunday the 27th. Ball delivered down inside the 18, headed away by Bonsu on top. From 25 out, chipped up the near wing by Poto, rolling to the corner. Novak after blocking Lahr, and the ball is out over the touchline on the near side. Quick throw in for the Rhinos. Handed by Kramer up in the air on the near side. It's chipped down inside the 18 by Bagley, then booted away out top. Poto settles it. Off in the middle, push forward to Gregor. Back to Krummelmeyer, works wide to the right side, chased there by Black. They spin around outside the box, blocked forward by Kraft, and the Rhinos have it. And Kraft grabbed onto by Krummelmeyer. As he's pushed off the ball, it's dropped back. Foul is called on Rochester. And the Rhinos are very upset with that one. So another free kick for the Timbers, 35 yards out off the right wing side. 78th minute. 8 shots of the match for the Timbers, 4 for the Rhinos. The yellow card now is being issued to Ambersley. And the Rhinos are losing control here. So Ambersley draws the yellow. In the 78th minute, that's 4 cautions on the night for the Rhinos. Run served down inside the 18, headed away and out top. Checking back on the ball, Martinez drops it off for Ambersley. Turns toward the middle to get away. Sends it long up the left wing side. Martinez in behind, trying to get through. Locked it down inside the 18. Martinez on the left side. Left-footed kick. He bent it up over top. Now the crossbar, missing the upper corner on the short side. So a great run there by Martinez, but misses the frame. Rhinos get a shot away. Timbers, however, will have a goal kick. 79th minute. Time running out in a big hurry. Wicks, the keeper, looking for his first shutout of the season. Drives this one out through midfield. Bert's able to hit it back into the center circle. Up goes Ambersley, couldn't reach it. Off of the far wing, Krummelmeyer, but Ambersley spins away with the ball, comes up on the left wing side and sneaks through. Cross midfield on the attack. Ambersley with a left-footed cross into the middle, and that's booted away out to near midfield. Stepping up goes Palguda. To the outside, pass blocked away. Palguda gets it again. On the left wing side, Ambersley, 35 yards out off the left wing. Sends it down to the 18, but booted away and out top. Stepping in underneath it, Birch once again. Attacking for the left wing side. Chips a high one deep to the corner, but they'll shank that one out of bounds. Throw in off the far side of the field, about 20 yards out for the Timbers in their own end of the field. We're now in the 80th minute. 2-0 lead for the Timbers. Ball played in, dropped back to the outside again. Brought away across midfield, stepping in underneath it. Birch hands it back to the midfield line, not across midfield. Pushed up the left wing side. Martinez tied up, stepping in Palguda, and the ball brought away by the Rhinos in the middle. Give and go opportunity, but intercepted on the return pass, and then sent out through midfield by the Timbers. After to the far wing. Down to the Rochester 25, trying to get loose. Krummelmeyer at the far corner of the 18 now, being watched by Birch. Pass tipped away by Palguda. Recovered by Bagley of the Timbers, 30 yards out. He'll lay it to the outside of the right wing once again. Timbers moving up on the ball. Cross in foot, blocked away by Kraft. And it's picked up at his own 18 by Ambersley, brings it away. Out to the 35. Spins around, still has it. Drops it off of the near wing for Bonsu. He'll move out on the near side, approaching midfield. Bonsu. Pass ahead. That's not at his side of the near wing. Novak plays it back in the middle for Kramer. Got away from him and then cleared out through midfield once again. Blocked there by Palguda. Cross midfield on the left wing side for Black. Into Portland territory. Giving it off to Ambersley. Dribbling it, watched closely by Poto. On the left side to Palguda. Return pass in the middle, but that one sneaking by Ambersley and then played out to the middle circle. Stepping up, Bonsu couldn't get control, and it's taken back by the Timbers. At the midfield line, across midfield to the far side. Going to get away. Gregor up the right side to Jordan. Pulling it down to the Rochester 20. At the far end of the 18. Watch one v1 by Birch, and the ball rolls out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Rhinos. 81st minute. 2-0 lead for Portland. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Moliere Chevrolet Buick. They always say yes. By Time Warner. Get all-in-one digital cable, digital phone, and Roadrunner. One package. Save hundreds. Also by the Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. Ball blocked at midfield, and the Rhinos have it. Turning the head on the left wing side. Blocked away and out by Thompson. Another throw in for the Rhinos across the way on the far side of the field. Throw in, Kraft, right back to the outside. Palguda chips it forward, headed off toward the end line by Black. Martinez trying to get in behind. He's blocked by Thompson, and Thompson goes down, and the foul is called on Ray Martinez. So the kick for the Timbers on the restart from their own 10 off the right wing side. Lights are on here at PGE Park. Still daylight. And, of course, the entire field now in the shadows. As the sun has disappeared behind me to the west, obviously. Cleared away by Wicks across midfield. Coming down at the Rochester 35. Big bounce down to the 18 as Jordan taken down. A foul is called. Foul is called on Bonsu. So free kick for the Timbers. Just a foot or so outside the 18, the far corner, the right wing side. That's the far corner of the 18-yard box. Well, maybe back toward the middle. So it's to the right of center. 19 yards out. Dangerous spot right here. Harrison lines up the Rhinos' four-man wall, which is pulled back down to around the 14. Set it up here. Now the wall increased to 6. And with the left foot going for the frame, punched away by Harrison on the near side. That was ticketed for the lower left corner, the wide side, the back post. Bagley getting to it. 1v1 with Novak. Rolls it to the end line, turning there, trying to get away. Knocked loose and chased down by the Rhinos. Brought forward by Ambersley. Out to the 30. Turns back toward the middle. Lights the ball downfield for Delicott. One touch to the outside, but checking back is Griffin. He'll play it away. Back heel by Ambersley in the center circle. In underneath the Palguda. Long chip up the right side, but in behind. And offside is Kramer. So the Rhinos are offside. As we get the chainsaw going here. The usual chainsaw, whatever this guy's name is, but one of the mascots of this team. He'll chop off another section of the log. Set to go now. Wicks on the restart from 30 yards out. Long kick downfield. Flicked into the near corner of the 18. Settled there by Jordan. Trying to sneak by. Burt goes to the end of the 6. Chipped along across the goal mouth on the other side. Chased after by Gregor in the far corner. Turned back out top for Podol. 20 yards out. Plays it to the outside again. Back heel. Blocked away and out off the foot of Novak. Throw it on the far side for the Timbers. 18 yards out. 2-0 lead for the Timbers. 85th minute and time really now a factor. As the Rhinos had some pressure early on in the second half, but not a whole lot since then. Ball blocked away. Ambersley to the outside. Martinez tried to lay it out, but that's blocked away out of bounds to the far side. A throw in for the Rhinos from their own 25 of the far side. Throw in to be taken by Palguda. Drawing it forward. Couple of steps and they'll loop one across midfield, but headed right back into Rhino territory. Underneath it they go, and up in the air they go. And the ball blocked by Palguda to the midfield line. Delicott pushed off the ball, and the Rhinos. Black will chip it up the left wing side. Kramer in underneath it. Martinez breaking for the front. That's played down inside the 18, blocked by Thompson. He'll turn with the right foot and hammer it out toward midfield. Black nods it forward. Podol chasing it down. As he's upended, the ball on the far wing, and a foul is called on Kramer. So a free kick for the Timbers from their own 25. 86th minute now, and a 2-0 lead for Portland. Time running out rapidly on the Rhinos. Had an opportunity of moving into a tie for first overall in the league here tonight, but looking very doubtful right now. As the Rhinos have moved to within 3 points of league-leading Vancouver. With the right foot, Wicks drives it downfield. Coming down to the Rochester 18, headed away by Burtz. Back in the middle, knotted to the outside. Coming around goes Kraft. Plays it off into the middle and off the near side. Bonsu out the right wing for Novak. Approaching midfield. Turned back to get away from Kiki Lara. Sends it along the near side. Down into Portland territory, but that's booted away by Justin Thompson across the midfield line. Knotted up the near side for Bagley. First to the outside along the left wing. Trying to draw it back in front. Drops it out there for Lara. And taken away by Novak. Keeps it into the touchline up the near side. Kramer at midfield. Turns it back along the midfield line for Delicott. Turns back for the ball. In the middle for Ambersley, the center circle. And he'll draw it across the midfield line. Lays it off to the left side and moving across midfield. Palguda to the outside. Gives it off to Black. 35 yards out. That's Black now with the ball. And to the outside again for Palguda. Entering for the return pass. Down to the end line goes Black. Left-footed cross, but blocked away by Podol. Out over the end line. A corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester corner. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Nothdagel, Rochester's full-service realtor. By Perry's Ice Cream. Life's a bowl of Perry's. Also by Auction Direct. For your next car, log on to auctiondirect.com. Corner kick, left wing side. Right-footed kicker in, swinging high in the air, coming down to the 18, and Bagley will head it away and out. Nodded in the air again by Novak. As the ball settled 35 yards out, foul is called on Gregor. And so a quick restart for the Rhinos down inside, hit it back in the middle, moving in as Kramer couldn't get to it, picked up on one hop by Wicks. Rhinos pressuring, but Wicks has the ball. 88th minute. 2-0 lead for the Timbers. Right foot booted downfield by Wicks. Coming down, a big bounce inside the 18, and unable to come away with it. Jordan, as on the half volley kick sent downfield by Harrison the other way. In underneath it, Thompson nods in the air, coming down to the 18. That's headed back in front and grabbed by Wicks on one hop, is right on the doorstep was Ambersley. 9 shots in favor of the Timbers and 5 for the Rhinos. That's booted high in the air and downfield. Another big boot coming down to the Rochester 20. Big hop inside and grabbed there on one hop by Harrison, but a foul was called, and so we'll have a free kick for the Rhinos. Substitution here for Portland. As checking into the match will be Higgins, and off is Kremmelmeyer. 88th minute. That's just the second sub of the match for Portland. Kremmelmeyer is out. Higgins is in. And the free kick for the Rhinos. Harrison off the left wing side across midfield. That's knocked down and out. Throw in on the far side for the Rhinos to be taken by Delicott. Well, he'll leave it there for Palguda. Goes short in the throw in, but blocked away. The Timbers have it. Out toward the midfield circle. Bagley drops it off. And one touch on the near side. Erasing the ball. Harrison outside the 18. Gets to it with the right foot. Plays it out through midfield. In the center circle. Knocked down. Podol, but taken away there by Ambersley. Drops it back to Kraft, his own side of midfield. Kraft approaching the midfield line with the left foot, plays it through. Martinez had to turn back for the ball, couldn't get to it, and then play downfield by Griffin, but right to Burks, and the Rhinos have it back. Cross midfield, pass in the middle for Ambersley. Lays it to the outside. One touch ahead for Burks, and Thompson there to knock it away for the Timbers. Right back to Burks. Off the left wing to the corner. Chase to the end line. Martinez tying up with Thompson, and Thompson goes down, and the whistle blows. So we'll have the yellow card being drawn on the Rhinos. Ray Martinez drawing the yellow card here in the 90th minute. Well, that's 5 yellows on the night for the Rhinos. So free kick for the Timbers. They're away into the field, deep in the far corner. Another substitution coming up for Portland. In a moment, they're ready to make the substitution, but we'll get the kick first. It'll be interesting to see how much stoppage time. There's a lot of delay in the injury to Aloisi. So we'll see how much additional time there will be on the clock. Played out to near midfield. Blocked across midfield by Ambersley, turning it to the outside of the left wing and brought forward. Kraft on the attack. Watch closely there. Drops it back near midfield, moving up Palguda with a pass and turning it off and taking down Martinez. Foul is called. A free kick for the Rhinos. This 45 yards out off the left wing side. On the restart, it'll be taken by Shirley Black. 35 yards out, placing the ball. Again off the left wing side. The clock stopped at 90. Haven't seen an indication yet on stoppage time. Down in front along the 6, headed away out the near end of the 18. And Bonsu dropping it on top for Black with the right foot. Goes for the back post, headed across in front along the 6, but in behind and offside. As Kramer make that Birch, it looks like, for the Rhinos. Offside against Rochester. So a goal kick or a free kick for the Timbers. Substitution. As coming into the match will be Ambriz. And off is Bagley here in the 90th minute. 90th minute. Bagley, the former Rhino, is out. And checking in is Jaime Ambriz, 27-year-old from Santa Barbara. Wicks placing the ball just inside of his 18. With the right foot, sends it out downfield. Headed back out to the middle circle. Podol nods it in the air, and underneath it, it's Black to head it out toward midfield. Pushed forward by Kramer across midfield. Martinez to Delicat as he's grabbed onto. The ball taken away by the Timbers. Pass through on the right side. Knocked down 20 yards out, and Burke steps up to take it away. Black feed it out. Cross midfield. Long delivery downfield. Kramer trying to get in behind. Chased down by Thompson. Cross the 18, moving in as the ball gets away from him. Rolled down to the end line. Oh, I see. Back up field. The offside flag is in the air anyway. Offside against the Rhinos. So free kick once again for Portland. We're in stoppage time. I did not see how much time was indicated for the additional time. Injury time. Free kick from 35 yards out for Wicks. Right foot. They'll send it down inside. The Rhino 18 headed away and out. After it underneath it goes Novak. A collision there with Lara. And the ball in the air out of bounds. Throw it on the near side for the Rhinos. Throw in for Bonsu. He'll then loop one out toward midfield, but nodded right back. Moving in, Bonsu runs up the back of Jordan, and the foul is called on Bonsu. Well, he's going to get a yellow card, and that will be the red card to Bonsu. Second yellow against Bonsu, and he is ejected here in the 90th. So the Rhinos a man down for the remainder, as Bonsu will head to the locker room. We're in stoppage time, and the Timbers up 2-0. Played down inside the 18, along the near end of the 18. After goes Jordan, as he is now being double-teamed. The ball at the end line, taken away by Novak, and the Rhinos have it. Novak with the left foot drives it away to the center circle. Martinez after it won't get there as he's bumped away. Hambersley along his 35. Turns it to the outside along the near wing. Novak chasing after it. On the near touchline, sends it through midfield. Delicat checking back as he's pulled off the ball, and it's grabbed there by Gregor of the Timbers. Dropping it back with the left foot, driven out through midfield by Scott Thompson on the near side. That's played toward the middle. Alguda bumping there, and the ball rolling along the 20 is picked up by Novak. The Rhinos have it. As he's chased there by Ambriz, able to send it off the left wing and across the midfield line. Logged forward, trying to get away Kramer. He's tangled up and taken down, and a Portland player going down also. On a 1v1 battle for the ball, and the ball is left lying there, and we'll have a free kick for Portland off the far side. Stoppage time here at PGE Park. And the ball will be placed at about 25 yards out off the right wing side to be taken by the keeper, Wicks. He backs up, adjusts the socks a little bit, wastes some more time. With the right foot, sends it out through midfield, coming down at the Rochester 25. That's headed aside by Palguda. Earning to get away is Black, being grabbed onto by Ambriz from behind, trying to sneak it through. It comes off of the center circle, and underneath it is Martinez. Chased off of the near wing, rolls it up the right side across midfield. There's Novak trying to get loose. Spins it out to Martinez off the tip of his toe, and recovered by Podol of the Timbers. Turns along his 35 into the center circle. Sneaks it up the right side, but that's headed away back at the midfield line. Booted through the center circle off on the near side as it switched to the left wing side and into Rhino territory comes Griffin. As the whistle blows. And that is going to be it. So it comes to an end here tonight. Not a good night for the Rhinos as they couldn't get anything going, and Portland applying a lot of pressure right from the outset, taking advantage of the Rhinos' travel here, if you will, and certainly did take advantage of it tonight. So the final from PGE Park in Portland, the Portland Timbers 2 and the Rochester Rhinos nothing. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Back at PGE Park in Portland, a 2-0 victory for the Portland Timbers over the Rhinos. And tonight, the Timbers, for their first ever win against the Raging Rhinos, Rochester on the series between the two teams. Lifetime series, a 5-1-1 record against the Timbers. And Portland very happy, of course, with what they've done here tonight, the 2-0 victory as goaltender Wicks comes up with his first shutout of the season. The season record now for the Rochester Rhinos in 6 games played, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 ties. So 500 record for the Rhinos, remaining at the moment in second place in the overall table. 3 points out of first place behind Vancouver, but the Whitecaps with a game in hand. The Portland Timbers now have moved into 5th place with 7 points, a 2-1-1 record of the season in 4 games played. And, of course, Portland leading the season series 1-0 against the Rhinos. All right, let's take a look at what happened in the game tonight. We'll check, first of all, the scoring. The first goal, and actually the only one that was needed by the Timbers on the night, came in the 24th minute as the goal was scored by the league-leading goal scorer, Andrew Greger. And this, again, turns out to be the game-winning goal on the night. He'll take the throw without the left wing side. Flights it down to the far end of the 6-yard box. Knocked down, chip shot in. They score! It was dropped back about 10 yards out. Greger, the leading scorer in the league, adds another one to his total. Chips it with his left foot in the upper right corner. And the Timbers draw first blood. Out of the 24th minute, Greger with his league-leading 4th of the season. Bagley is credited with an assist, so a 1-0 lead for the Timbers. And again, that was the game-winning goal on the night. Portland did add a little insurance in the 32nd minute. And the goal was scored by Leonard Griffin, his first of the season. Greger gets an assist on the goal, and this puts the Timbers up 2-0. 35 yards out in the middle of the field. Crack at it. And they score! From 35 yards out, Griffin takes the shot. That's in the upper right corner. Floated inside the corner, scoring the same spot as the last goal, and the Timbers have taken a 2-0 lead. So Griffin with his first of the season, Greger assisting, and in the 32nd minute, the Timbers take a 2-0 lead. That was the last goal of the half. In fact, that was the last goal of the game, as there was no more scoring the rest of the way. Unofficial stats. Unofficially, I had 9 shots for the Timbers and 5 for the Rhinos. It was 5 corner kicks for Rochester and 6 for Portland. 6 offsides against Rochester, none against Portland. And so there's your unofficial stats. And on the season now is Harrison records his first loss of the season. If the Rhinos, a 1-1-2 record for Chase Harrison. At the other end, Wicks now with a victory has a 2-1-1 record, his first shutout of the season. And there again is your unofficial stats on the night. All right, let's take a look at these awards, if you will, on the night. First of all, the player of the call of the game. The call of the game here tonight at Paytech Park, which is brought to you, or rather at, where are we? At PGE Park, which is brought to you by Paytech. The call of the game brought to you by Paytech, personalizing personal communications. Again, this is the call of the game. On ball booted by Wicks through midfield, coming down at the Rochester 20. That's flicked forward at the 18, knocked down, shot in off the frame, punched wide by Harrison, got the left hand on it, diving to his left, hits it wide out over the end line. First corner of the game, and it goes to the Timbers. Great save once again by Harrison. Great save right there by Harrison. He made a couple of excellent saves in the match again tonight. I did allow 2, but that is the call of the game here this evening. The Pellegrino sub of the game. Tonight's sub of the game selection brought to you by Pellegrino's. Always fresh, always fast, and always delicious. And I'm going to go with Mike Ambersley for the Rhinos tonight as the sub of the game. Came in seeing his first action of the season and created a lot of opportunities as he came in the 41st minute and played very well. So Ambersley, tonight's Pellegrino's sub of the game. The Power Trip player of the game. Well, you got to go with Greger out of Portland. Coming out with a goal and an assist on the night. And we'll go with the league-leading Andrew Greger as the Power Trip player of the game. Player of the game selection brought to you by Power Trip. Taste the power. And the Excellus play of the game. Well, it's once again got to be that first goal, which was scored on the night there by Greger. As he picks the upper right corner, comes away with the game-winning goal on the night. So that's the play of the game brought to you by Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping you achieve your goals. All right, so it's a 2-0 final here in Portland for the Timbers, and I do have the official stat sheet, so I can give that to you right now. Officially, the Portland Timbers out shooting Rochester 9-5. 4 saves for Harrison and 2 for Wicks. The Rhinos had 23 fouls, and the Timbers had 20, and Rochester had a total of 5 yellows and actually 6. It'll make 1 red, as Bonsu received the ejection on his second yellow card. All right, then offside 6 against Rochester, none against Portland, and each team had 4 corners on the night. As credited with 2 saves of Wicks, credited with 4 saves was Harrington. So there's the official stat sheet as was just provided here for me a moment ago. All right, what have we forgotten? Trying to think if there's anything left. I guess that's about going to wrap it up for us tonight from Portland. As the Rhinos go down to defeat at the hand of the Portland Timbers, 2-0 is the final score. Coming along, of course, is Joe Giuliano, Soccer Sam with the post-game show, and they'll be hearing your calls here in just a moment. A couple of reminders, of course, coming up on Tuesday night at Paytech Park, the U.S. Under-20 men's national team, led by Freddie Adu, taking on the Argentina Under-20 men's national team. That's at Paytech Park Tuesday night. Tickets at Paytech Park box office. You can contact Ticketmaster through the internet at Ticketmaster.com or give them a call at 232-1900. So be there Tuesday night as the U.S. Under-20 men's national team takes on Argentina. Next up for the Rhinos will be Friday night. That'll be up the road in Seattle at Quest Stadium, and we'll have the broadcast for you along our network starting at 9:30 Rochester time on Friday night. Hope you'll join us then. All right, thanks to the folks back in the studios, Bob D'Angelo and Allison, for the great work doing back in the stadium again tonight, and Joe Giuliano will be coming along shortly. Final score from PGE Park here in Portland as the Timbers 2 and the Rhinos nothing. I'm Don Stevens. Thanks for being along. Good night, everybody.
Welcome to the post-game show. I am Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam. We are wrapping up this Rhinos-Portland game tonight, and really a mediocre performance at best from the Rhinos tonight. 2-0 loss to the Portland Timbers. Portland's first ever win against the Rhinos, Sammy. And was the travel a factor tonight? We'll see. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to the coach and some players out in Portland this evening. Our number here is 346-3000 or a free call on the Verizon Wireless at star 1040. Give us a call. Let's chat about the Rhinos and the Portland Timbers. We watched it on USL Live. I thought the production was pretty good.
Very good, very good. We listened to some of the commentary. Obviously, we listened to Don
sure.
also. Yeah, Joe, something's just not clicking. It didn't click. I mean, last night was a bad judgment of this team against the team they played. But tonight, it reminded me a little bit of the Vancouver game at home. It's just a lot of the passes weren't clicking. Something's not right. But Diallo coming out early, I'm not sure if it was the yellow card, was it fatigue? My opinion, I think Diallo and Martinez work really well up top together. But hey, it's just unfortunate. We need to get it together here. But the travel arrangements are awful. Back-to-back games. It happens in this league. And, we're not in a situation where we could have a private jet fly our players after a game. So the guys got up at 4 a.m. this morning.
Ouch. I
mean, 4 a.m. to probably take an 8 o'clock flight. By the time you get there, you get in your hotel. It's 1 in the afternoon. You eat lunch, and boom, you're ready for a game. It's tough to do. The bench, the guys that came in, I guess, did okay. Ambersley hasn't had any playing time at all this year. Don, kind of called him the sub of the game. So, we watched it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. My question is where's Chad Severs? Is he injured? I mean, every time he goes down, down to D2, kid gets player or team of the week, scores goals. I'm not sure. We're down 2 goals. I was hoping we'd go all out attack. We didn't. It was probably fatigue.
Yeah, I mentioned to you during the game. I didn't see any urgency after being down 2-0. But is that a result of just having nothing left in the tank after this awful travel schedule? The guys who came in off the bench tonight, Martinez and Ambersley, they were first-half substitutions. I was a little surprised to see the coach go to the bench so quick in the first half. Hopefully we'll get a chance to ask him if there was injuries or something else behind those changes. Second half, Novak came in for Aloisi, who took a shot to the head and a free kick. Hopefully he is okay, and we'll try to get an update from Portland on him. Kramer came in for Menyanger, Kraft came in for Ball, or vice versa. But so it was Martinez, Ambersley, Novak, Kramer, and Kraft coming off the bench for the Rhinos tonight. And what a goal we saw by Leonard Griffin in the 35th minute from 35 yards out. Just a rocket that Chase Harrison, it was swerving away from him the whole time, no chance at all.
no goalie would have had a chance to this fantastic shot. I tell you, the man's for real. Chase Harrison, the third, if you will. The man is for real. The kid could play. He made like 3 beautiful saves tonight. Controls his box well. Looks very confident. That's not our problem. We need control in the midfield, and we need somebody up top that can score goals. We need that. We have to get it right away. It's not going to get any easier. We Seattle coming up and Vancouver coming up, Montreal, the Impact, the Carolina Railhawks. I mean, those are guys. I mean, earlier in the season, I listened to Coach Galloway say something to his team. What he said is, whoever we play against, there's someone on that team that wishes they were a Rhino or is disappointed that they're not a Rhino.
True.
Tonight you saw Bagley on his game. He was everywhere. Got an assist on the first goal. You got the second assist if they were counting them back like the
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
On the second goal. And it's just going to continue from team to team that we go to. And we need to get some guys. We need to make some changes, man. We need a controlling midfielder. Johnny Younger, in my opinion, is more of a forward. You can see what he does. When he's anywhere near the box, he's looking to shoot like a real forward does. He's not looking for passes. You know, I don't think Delhi got a shot tonight. Unfortunately, he's not getting the service.
And my sympathies go out, I think, to Delhi just a little bit because we said, you nail it. He's not getting the service up top, and I think we're going with a makeshift attacking midfielder in Johnny Manyager. Like you said, his first option usually to look to go to goal and shoot. So a bit of sympathy goes out to Delicata and Diallo. They're not getting the service from a guy like, I know this is a world-class player, Bogey, from the Cosmos, but that kind of guy, Bolanos, who can set the table for you and make it look so easy. We just look so tense. We look very stiff. There's no rhythm. There's no flow. I think a creative midfielder would be able to take away some of that stiffness that we're seeing, but it just seems like everything is so hard for this team.
It's an easy, beautiful game. It's supposed to be a pretty game. I didn't see it that way tonight, and I obviously didn't see it that way last night based on the team we're playing against. The two outside fullbacks tonight being Palguda and Aloisi. Not a lot of overlapping. No. I know it's turf. I know they're tired from last night, but that's the other thing. You know, you need those guys to overlap and bring some defenders away from our forwards so they have some space to work. And that's not happening. It didn't happen tonight. It didn't happen a lot last night either. So we have to work on that too. You know, a lot of it is the travel. I know people think it's an excuse. They're going to, slam us for defending the team, but I mean, that is tough. I did it. You know, obviously I don't play in the field. I did it. It's tough, man. You get up at 4 in the morning, you're at the airport, you check in, you're sitting there for 3 hours to catch a plane, and it kills you. And imagine then you got to go run for 90 minutes like these guys do. It's tough. I know the whole league has to do it. It's not an excuse, but that's part of the game. I
agree. It is definitely an issue. The travel schedule is very, very demanding, but I am seeing the same thing I saw against Vancouver at Paytech Park. A lot of gaps between the midfielders and the defenders, a lot of spaces. The goal by Griffin, 35 yards out, defensive midfielder, absent on the play. That's Bonsu who was playing there at that time. So I see the same things I saw against Vancouver. I didn't see any continuity, any teamwork. It just seems like everyone's on their own page and they're not playing together as a unit. It's early in the season. You look at the Rhinos' record now, Sam. Talk about mediocrity straight across the board. 6 games played. 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 ties, 7 goals for, 7 goals against. Do you get any more average than that?
You got to bet those numbers, man. We got to bet those babies.
The number here again is 346-3000, or it's a free call on number Verizon Wireless. It's our 1040. I've never seen somebody choke a cell phone like that before. Oh, soccer, Sam. This is beautiful stuff. The final score again today from PGE Park, Portland 2, the Rhinos nothing. 3,000 fans, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Terrible day to schedule a match.
I mean, that's the other thing. I don't know what these GMs of this league, what are they thinking? I mean, who's going to go to a soccer game on Mother's Day? I mean, by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
But, I mean, come on, it's family time. I know we like to joke around, yeah, that's what we're going to do for Mother's Day, but come on, you're out, you're out to dinner with your mom. I mean, it's not going to happen, but hey, I was angry last night. Tonight I'm in a better mood, so I'm not going to slam the league or any of these decisions, but I am concerned for this team, and I'm sure that Mr. Callaway, Coach Callaway, we need a midfielder. We need someone in the middle, a controlling mid. The old days, we had guys we talked about a few weeks ago.
Allnut, Mladenoff, all those guys.
Yeah, we're lacking that, and we're lacking the service up top. We don't have that speedster that go up a flank and make things happen. The Doug Miller styles. It's not happening.
And this is not a knock against Johnny Manyanger and Bonsu. These guys, I think, off the record, would admit to you, they're not totally comfortable in those positions.
Yeah.
Manyanger's a forward. He's got a nose for the goal. He's a great goal scorer. I think Bonsu's better off as a true defender. And it's not a knock against these guys. They're playing out of position, in my opinion. And hopefully that midfield general, Howes last year, was he a midfielder? Yeah, he did a good job, but I don't think he's a true central midfield player.
He's a forward. And a lot of times, you play a certain position all your life. It's tough to change, and you can practice it all the time. But in game time, you sense to go back to your old habits, and that's just how it is.
Well, fans, what do you think? Give us a call, 346-3000, star 1040. It's a free call on the Verizon Wireless. When we come back, we'll take some calls here, hopefully. You're listening to the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct on WYSL News 1040 AM. Joe Giuliano and Soccer Sam also joining us this evening. Your final score from PGE Park: the Portland Timbers 2, the Rochester Raging Rhinos nothing. A couple of notes from the match this evening. Portland, it was their first ever win against the Rochester Raging Rhinos, and this could be big news down the line here on this trip. T-Bone Bonsu got his second yellow card in stoppage time. He gets the red card. So I know last year there was a situation where if you're on the road, you don't serve the suspension until you come back home. Do you know if that's changed, or is that still in effect?
I'm not sure. I think that's been changed. I think you just have to sit out the next game, but hopefully we'll find out from Coach Callaway if we get him on tonight, Joe. But T-Bone, I talked to him a while back, and he said, part of his knock when he was playing MLS was he was too physical of a player. That's how he was brought up to play. He plays hard, he plays physical. Not necessarily dirty, but physical. And tonight, I think as the game went on, he was just playing, physical soccer. I don't think either one of those yellow cards were real yellow cards, in my opinion.
So T-Bone have to sit out a match. When? We'll try and find out for you if it's going to be when they come home or if it's going to be next week. The Rhinos' next game is Friday night at Seattle. So the team stays out west for the week, get a chance to regroup and maybe work on some of the weaknesses that they saw tonight in the Portland game. And does another player fly out there? Is Aaron Lyons going to join the team on the West Coast? I heard that he may be doing that.
I think he is, and I'll tell you, we talked about Aaron Lyons earlier during the broadcast when we were watching the show. They miss him, man. The man, he's the real deal. Aaron Lyons overlaps. He's everywhere. He takes control. He takes corner kicks, takes direct kicks.
Control. Keyword right there, control.
Yeah, he kind of calms the game down, and he makes things happen. And I think they really miss him out there. And I thought John Ball had a good game tonight. He was up and down. He was everywhere. I mean, it's a lot of work out there, and it's a big field, and it's that old-school turf, that hard turf where the ball moves really quick. But, again, one of my players of the game, second game in a row, Chase Harrison.
Oh, he was great tonight.
I thought he looked great.
You can't fault him really on either of the goals. Those were some nice goals by the Timbers, Andrew Greger and Leonard Griffin. The number here is 346-3000. Let's go to the phones and speak with Brian. Hey, Brian, how you doing tonight?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good, bud.
I was hearing your first comments when you started the show, and I gotta agree with you about one thing though, about this team when they have to travel, going out west. I don't like it either. It really, to me, it seemed like from the game tonight and the game last night, it just seemed like it throws the team's momentum off a little bit and their schedules off as well.
Brian, I agree. I think they should do I don't mind Friday and Sunday. I mean, if you're on the road, go Friday, Sunday. You play somewhere on Friday, you play somewhere on Sunday. Get that one day in between. But to go from one night to the other, I mean, that's just crazy. We're not here to criticize the league and some of their decision making, but some of it just doesn't make soccer sense.
And the fans are the ones who suffer in the end. You see subpar soccer. The schedule is awful. We talked about Mother's Day. The Rhinos, had a game yesterday. Could have definitely been a switch in the schedule there, but very poor decision-making from the league. Got to call it like you see it.
And you know what, Joe, and Buddy Soccer Sam?
Hey, buddy.
another thing too is, you gotta wonder about what the team's schedule is gonna be all week because they're not probably. I don't think they're coming home this week, are they? Do you know if Joe or Buddy Sammy?
They're not coming home. They're spending the 9 days out on the West Coast.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss Jessica so much. By the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Sammy, I'll see you later, buddy, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you, Brian. Brian Quarter via satellite, one of our correspondents here on the Rhino radio broadcast.
Does a great job on ESPN5 as well.
Yes, he does. He does. And Brian is my buddy from way back from day one with the Rhinos. You know, a lot of things that I'll tell you. Again,
here we go.
I got this book. I have this book that I've been waiting to release for years. I got to do it because in a city like the other night in San Francisco and in Portland, you got to play during the week. You got to on a Wednesday night and a Thursday night and a Tuesday night. There's nothing to do.
Okay.
It's a night out. It's something to do. You're making an event. Where on a Friday night, a Saturday night, a Sunday night, it's a conflict. There's too much going on in these big cities. And that would just make things so much easier for these West Coast trips. So now, you know, you go to Seattle, you play on a Tuesday night, and then you play on a Thursday night. If they think that the weekend date's going to make a difference, look at your attendance for the last 5 years.
What do you have to lose? You're right.
Exactly.
What do you have to lose?
It's crazy, and you could. It would help soccer because now you're going to have more entertaining soccer. You're going to have a rest in between, and it's just none of it makes sense to me. And I'm trying to deal with it. And maybe because Joe, we spend so much time together here that we kind of analyze so much that we start thinking about things. But it didn't used to be like this back in the day.
We sit here for 2 hours to watch a game. We're analyzing. These are the discussions and the conversations that the USL office down in Tampa Bay has to have during the business week, during the business hours. Sound business decisions. You nailed it on the head. These attendance numbers on the weekends, they're no different than if they played on a Tuesday. And it's common business sense, I think. They're just missing the boat.
They're missing.
You are a marketing genius.
I'm not sure if I'm that, but I think it just doesn't take much to kind of really analyze what's going on. And, you know, the Rhinos are going to play Friday night in Seattle, right?
Yep.
I mean, you think about it. Seattle, if you've been there, Joe, it's a jamming city.
Beautiful city.
There is so much to do on a Friday night, all right? But on a Thursday night, I mean, there's not a lot happening. Wednesday night, there's probably not as much happening.
Right.
I mean, it's just a night out. So now, instead of having your games at 7:30, 8 o'clock, you start at 7 o'clock. You have 7 o'clock game time. You go there for dinner. You have a hot dog. If you just follow what like AAA baseball does, I mean, it's the same mentality. It's the same fan base. Instead, they're thinking that they're in Europe somewhere, and it's not, or the NBA or the NFL. Dude, this is not. You're not there yet.
It's right.
It's soccer. It's American soccer. Let's make it entertaining, and let's do it on nights where it doesn't conflict. But that's not what this post game is about. Let's talk to the fans about what you think. If you watch it, if you listen to it, what are the changes this team needs to make? Are you happy? Hey, 2-2-2, not so bad. It's an early start. I mean, what do you think, Joe?
Well, last year we were on the road for 7 straight games. Came home 5-0-2, I believe.
Yes, undefeated.
So there was a huge buzz, a huge spark after that crazy road trip to start the season. Now, I think the record and the goals for and goals against really speak for itself. It's mediocre. It's up and down, and there's no. To me, that shows there's no consistency yet. They haven't found their rhythm. They're hitting at certain spots, other spots still needs to be some work done. One thing that I noticed is when the Rhinos have the ball, especially against Vancouver and against Portland, the pressure almost came immediately from the opposition. Portland, Vancouver, back at Paytech Park, all sorts of time to set up, look up, make your next pass. The pressure's got to be stepped up, I think. It was a little flat and making it a little too easy for the opponent to set up their attack.
Well, hopefully we'll see a lot of pressure on Tuesday night. USA, Argentina, Paytech Park. The city's buzzing about it. You're going to see some high-end quality soccer. The other 20 national teams will be here. I saw them practicing today, the men's side. I saw Freddie Adu and a bunch of great-looking players, and I think it's going to be fun. So, hey, you know, if you need that soccer fix and you're not aware of it yet, Tuesday night there's a game at Paytech Park. It starts at 7:30, and it's going to be a fantastic event for Rochester.
What do you say we do 2 tickets to the game Tuesday night and 2 tickets to the game May 27th against Miami for trivia?
I like that. Good idea.
So prize package, you get 2 tickets to the USA Argentina on Tuesday, 2 tickets to the Rhinos and Miami FC. That game will be on Sunday, May 27th, and I believe that's a 6:05 kickoff. Let me take a quick look here. Yep, 6 o'clock kickoff, and that's Memorial Day weekend, I believe.
Yes, it is, and it's a special tribute to the radio legend of Italian-American heritage, Joe Capogreco.
Listening to my friend this morning, I love the Italian music. Brings me back to the old days with Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
All right, the question tonight, how many first-half goals have the Rhinos scored this season? How many first-half goals have the Rhinos scored this season? Give us a call, 346-3000, or it's a free call on the Verizon Wireless at star 1040. We'll take a break. We'll take some more calls, hopefully some shots at the trivia. How many first-half goals have the Rhinos scored this season? You are listening to the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct on WYSL News 1040 AM. Trivia is still out there, folks. How many goals have the Rhinos scored in the first half this season? Great prize package out there for you. 2 tickets to the USA against Argentina, the under-20 team on Tuesday, and 2 tickets to the Rhinos and Miami FC on May 27th. The number here is 346-3000. Let's go to the phones and speak with Louie. Louie, good evening and welcome to the postgame show.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I was just listening to a little bit. We were talking about the midfield earlier with Sam, and we had the same problem last year. Why wasn't it addressed during the off season?
That's a great question.
Well, I think, Louis, I think it was addressed. I just think that they couldn't get the players that they were looking to get.
What happened to Bolanos? Did he retire or whatever happened?
Too.
I'm not sure what happened, but I think they just thought he was injury prone, and they just decided not to go with him.
But you're like watching other teams have, it seems like even teams coming into our town coming in, they're attacking, like you're saying, better than we are, have more setup, and where are they find the players, or is it a coaching problem? I really didn't like Pat Erkley's style. It's too defensive for me for U.S. soccer, try to get new fans to come in, but he did a good job in Syracuse, and before that, wherever he was, he did a good coaching job. It seems in Rochester, it seems like, I watched him last year, put guys like Taylor on defense, which I thought stunk. You could just see him in that Miami game. It became a good game because he brought him on defense, and he attacked on his side and the right side, and he scored 3 goals, Miami.
I remember that game very well.
I mean, how did he put a player like that in? I can't even tell we could be playing. I could see him playing a friendly game and not in a match. It just seems some of the changes he did last year, players, personnel-wise, starting in and out, and some of the guys just, to me, don't click. I mean, you could just see it. They didn't belong out there.
Louis, I hear that a lot out there. In the coach's defense and in Matt Ford's defense, I think back in the day, we had players that played in this team. I'll throw a name at you right now, Tommy Tanner.
Right.
Tommy had been around indoor for so many years in his experience in college that he had connections. I mean, the Scotty Schweitzers that he brought in, that was his buddy. And then the Malai Walton and the Zavalas, and we could go on and on. The majority of our team, it was guys that knew each other from past experiences. I know Joe laughs at me, but the funk or the drop of indoor soccer has hurt the quality of play in the USL First Division.
Are you crazy?
I'm telling you, because we're not getting those quality players coming here anymore. I'm telling you that. If you look at our rosters from 96 on, the majority of those players, and a lot of fans don't even know this, some of their favorite all-time Rhino players started playing indoor soccer. Carlos Zavalos, I could go on and on. Stoyan Milanov played indoor. I mean, Mauro Biello was a star for the Blizzard in 96, 97. I'm telling you that league developed so many players, and then they got to know each other. So when Tommy calls up Mauro and says, hey, Montreal dropped out of the league this year. You want to come here? Pat would love to have you. Hey, yeah, I played with you. I played with and against you in indoor. We're lacking that whole connection thing, and I think every team in this league is suffering from that.
Yeah.
Sammy.
But even like he starts Martinez up front, I know Deli was injured and stuff. But then, he comes in the game, he keeps him on the right side, he belongs on the left side, and he's more of a midfielder. I would rather see Seaver start up front or something. I love Martinez Boom Boom. I think he should start every game. He hardly started him last year, but he's great off the bench for his energy and stuff, but he's great with crosses and stuff. He's not a forward up front. And he just does things, the coach. And, we're supposed to be a deep team, and, like, it always seems like we got excuses, and it doesn't make no sense.
I've been pounding the phones and comments on the shows. Martinez, I'd love to see him start. He said it does create a nice element down the right flank. That's something a lot of guys don't do, is take players on, and he's exciting to watch. But getting back to Sammy's indoor point here, Sam, I think the thing is the A-League was watered down for a long time. There was a team in Indiana,
there's no doubt about
team
that.
in Cincinnati. We played some bogus teams. So I think that has really changed a lot.
The fans
the
got
league
used
is
to
much
just
more competitive.
watching teams that look like high school teams playing against us.
Yeah, there were some awful teams. Connecticut. We had some lousy competition.
4 MLS teams, U.S. Open Cup. I guess you're right.
We played the whole game in their half. It was a joke.
Louis,
I like the more competitive style of, soccer, seeing, all the teams more equal, and then instead of being like the New York Yankees buying the best team in the league, and I'm trying to do that, but they just, there's just something wrong about the team last year and again this year, and they knew what the problem was last year. They even mentioned it, and you guys mentioned it all the time, listening to you guys, and it wasn't addressed at all. The flow in midfield. I know we had the 2 injuries last year. I can't think of the other guy's name.
Juninho.
It was midfield with the Bananas, but.
Well, I can't think of the player's name, but there was one player they were trying to get. He ended up going to Carolina, I believe. I think the defense is set. The Scott Val thing, is a freak accident, and that's a concern. And Harrison seems like he's kicking in.
He's done well.
Losing Frankie Sanfilippo, I don't think really hurt us that bad based on what we're seeing so far.
His speed made up for his mistakes, or other guys' mistakes, to get back on defense. As far as overlapping, he looked good, but he had no touch on the ball whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
at best 50-50 chances. Cross could be good. Never had to touch.
Yeah.
And now, Aaron Lyons, Louis, not being there, I think it hurts us on either the outside or if he plays in the middle.
Louis, want to take a shot at the trivia?
3?
3 is a good guess, but not correct.
All right.
We're trying to find out how many.
The attendance? I mean, he said 9,000 people there. I mean, it was the smallest crowd I ever saw in my life.
Well, some people are blaming on the whole Sabres thing, and there's a lot going on in the city. I'm not sure, Louis. I'm concerned as a Rochesterian, and I got in trouble before for saying this, but I think that our Rochester media thinks that we live in Buffalo. I don't know how to fix that, but if we got the free publicity that the Buffalo teams get every day, I think all our Rochester sports teams, from the Amherst to the Nighthawks to
tonight, the Rhinos didn't play. You watch the sports again tonight, the Rhinos didn't play. They didn't even mention us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't get it. It wasn't like that. We're talking about, let's go back to some of the old days. It wasn't like that. I mean, they'd open up with the sports, home or away, TV. I mean, they do stories on players. Unfortunately, maybe it's easier for them to cover these teams. Maybe they're offering more information, but we need to focus on our city, Rochester, New York. We need Paytech Park to be jamming. We need Frontier Field to be jamming. We need the Blue Cross Arena to be jamming. This is our city. This is our money. It's our society.
Pride.
I mean, but for whatever reason, our media thinks we live in Buffalo. It's weird. I don't get it.
All right, Louis, thanks for the call tonight, and a good shot at the trivia.
All right, thank you.
Great points, too, from Louis coming here tonight on the show. Buffalo, Syracuse, I want to see them do well, but it's secondary.
Yeah.
They do well, great, they're close to us, but we're Rochester. That's where we got to show our pride and our money and our dedication, not to these other places.
Speaking since I'm in the educational thing here, and I'm trying to educate everyone tonight. Joey, the bottom line is this. If you're in the media, I don't care if it's print, radio, or TV, if you're a Sabres fan or a Bills fan, if you're on the Internet, there is so much information. If you got a remote control in your hand, you can watch SportsCenter all day long. You can watch all the stuff. So whatever you're giving me locally, I already got, man. When I got the paper this morning, I already know the story. But I don't know the story on the Rhinos. I don't know the story about Ray Martinez from Cuba and his mother maybe sick in Cuba. Things that I don't know that I can't get anywhere else. And the same thing goes with the TV stories. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me that our city, if you open up the news, if there's a crime or a murder in Rochester, it's like what they open up the news with.
What sells.
But they don't open up, and there's stories in Buffalo. There's bank robberies in Buffalo every day. But that's never talked about on the news. But when you go to the sports, all of a sudden we're living in Buffalo. I don't get it. It's crazy.
That's a good point.
And it's not the same in those cities. You go to Buffalo or Syracuse, they don't talk about Rochester. They don't have the sports thing. Hey, the Red Wings had a game today. I mean, who cares? You're in Buffalo.
Sam, you drive on the thruway, you don't see signs for Rochester. You see signs for Buffalo or Syracuse. Syracuse barely any signs for Rochester. 90 East, Syracuse. 90 West, Buffalo. You don't see Rochester mentioned.
Maybe that's a problem. Maybe the media's confused.
They don't know we exist. Mike's been on hold for a while. Mike, welcome to the postgame show.
Hi.
How are you?
I agree with what Sam was saying about Buffalo. I think there is just too much coverage of Buffalo Bills and Sabres and Syracuse basketball. I think the local media should just cover local sports.
I mean, what is it? We're trying to get on the bandwagon and trying to be a big city with someone else and not have the pride in our own sports and our own teams. It's very confusing. It's always been a knock with the city.
No, I agree.
I mean, Mike, I grew up, as a football fan. I was never a Bills fan. I was a Steeler fan, and most of my friends are fans of other teams. And the same thing with hockey and everything. And you can't deny the success that the Sabres are having right now. You can't deny that. It's there. But I don't think there's a reason to overlook your local sports teams. I don't get that. I just don't understand it.
I think a lot of local reporters they like covering major league sports, and they figure it's like a ticket for bigger and better things for them, and they really don't want to cover high school sports or whatever. It's more glamorous.
Yeah. And Mike, I'll tell you, this week, Tuesday night, USA and Argentina. If you really look at some of these guys in this roster, and especially for Argentina, most of those guys are playing in some of the biggest clubs in the world. You think that every day in the news somewhere there'd be a story about something, and it's just not happening.
No,
I ran into some people today that didn't even know the game was happening Tuesday. So it's scary.
Part of the problem is we have one daily newspaper here. If you with Times Union and DNC, you get two separate sports departments, then competition starts.
No, that's true.
I think that helps. That would help a lot.
Yeah, I miss the Times Union.
So do I.
Is the trivia question still out there?
It is out there, Mike. How many first-half goals have the Rhinos scored this season?
2.
That is correct. 2 first-half goals. They both came when?
Last night.
That's it, Mike. You got it. Last night against the California Victory, Menyanger and Palguda. You got a great prize package, Mike. 2 tickets to Tuesday's game, the USA-Argentina, 2 tickets to the game against Miami on May 27th. What are your thoughts on the Rhinos' performance on the field so far this year?
I really don't want to comment on tonight's game because I just think it was a lousy situation to be in there. You have to play back-to-back games on the road. I think that's just asking way too much of the players. The whole schedule is kind of just goofy this year.
We've been saying that for years, I think, though, haven't we? Kind of complain about the setup.
Yeah, I don't remember, though, going back-to-back like this from California to a different, like Portland. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that tight, no, but, Friday, Sunday.
I think I remember in '96, because there were only 8 teams in the league, we did have some West Coast road trips, but I think after that, when the league expanded, like 28 or 32 teams, I think just to keep travel costs down, I think teams pretty much just stayed in their own conference, and we played a lot of games against Montreal and Toronto and Long Island and, teams that it was fairly short distances to travel to.
Well, I hope in the future that happens again. I think that is the longevity of professional soccer in America. You need to tighten up the teams, and
even at a high level like MLS, same thing. You think?
I think you do, Joe. I think you look in Europe and stuff. Those cities they're 2 hours apart.
You're talking about
train right away.
A country the size of Italy. That's the size of what? Maybe California. That's the whole country. And we're a huge country. I don't think you can compare.
Remember when the Owls were here?
Yep.
Well, I was talking to some of their fans at the Old Toad, and they were saying that for them, they go to most of the away games because I think, I looked on the map, I think their farthest away game is South End, which is in the southern part of London, and that's about 90 miles, which is like about the distance between here and Buffalo.
Right.
So the players aren't traveling those long distances like our guys had to tonight, or last time whenever they made the trip.
Joe, there's 2 ways to look at it, though. You're saying that California is the size of Italy.
Or whatever. I'm not saying it is, but
let's say it is.
Okay.
Let's say it is. Okay. So then why isn't there 7 teams in California in different cities in California and make that one division? You know what I'm saying? Why?
Well, now you're taking it to another level.
Right. What I'm just saying, though, I mean, why focus the money that those teams like California, the money they're spending.
Well, when you put it that way, I agree.
You know,
but if there's one team in California,
yeah, you got to go to it.
You got to go.
Right.
But if there's 7, now you're making a whole different point.
Right. That's a whole different division.
Yeah.
And that's
I
one
agree with
division.
that.
Then we end up playing somebody in the
playoffs.
It just, I don't know. If you want this to be around for a long, long time, you got to figure out a way to do that down the road and get the right people to do it.
Well, Mike, stay on the line.
Okay.
We'll get your information for you. Congratulations. You got a nice little prize package there.
No, thank you.
Hope you enjoy.
It was good talking to you guys as usual.
Well, thanks, Mike. And please keep calling here on the post-game show. Heineken.
I was on Goodman Avenue, and I realized the trivia question was still available, and I had to drive all the way near Cobb's Hill, and I was trying to reach into my bag to get my cell phone, but I thought that's probably not a good idea when I'm driving, so I got home and I just gave it a try, and so it was my lucky day.
Well, good persistence, and you got a nice prize package because you never quit on us. Thanks, Mike.
All right.
Stay on the line, okay?
Okay, good night.
Thank you, Mike, for calling tonight here. The Rhinos have scored 2 goals in the first half this season. They're playing a lot of catch-up, giving up an early goal, trying to play catch-up for the rest of the game.
Educated fans, though, Joe.
They know their
Very
stuff.
educated, both of them. Louie and Mike know their stuff. Made a lot of good points. You know, I'm concerned about a couple things, and we've talked about it before, but the biggest thing is I want Tuesday night to be a success. I think if you have a young kid and somebody you know that plays soccer, you got to get them to that game. Today was kind of cool. There's about 20 fans that showed up to kind of watch the team practice. And I was watching these little kids, probably 7 to 10 years old, and they were like, they were watching the guys play, and then they were in the little parking lot area, not in the parking lot, but behind the goal there, where it's paved, and they're playing like little street soccer, like like you see in Brazil or Italy. It's kind of cool, and you can see that those kids want to be like those guys out there, and that's how we started, and that's how it's supposed to be.
That's right.
And I think if that keeps on developing, it's going to be hot. But we definitely need the media support to make it happen. And I'll tell you, the Buffalo Bills, the Buffalo Sabres, can never afford to market the way the free publicity they get, day and night, 7 days a week, every channel.
Training camp, they have a half-hour special at night.
Off season, during season, doesn't matter. I mean,
cares?
Yeah, I mean, I would love the media to do a test. Let's pick one team. It doesn't necessarily have to be the soccer team. Let's say you want to pick the Red Wings, fine. You want to pick the Amerks, fine, and just treat them like you're treating the Sabres or the Bills. I guarantee you, every game's a sellout. I guarantee it. Marketing gets excitement, generates fans, and like I said, there's no price that you can pay for that. And hopefully, I just remember those games, 96, 97, 98, after the game, the cameras circling around Erkley or the guy who scored the goal. You don't see that anymore. This is different. Sad.
Let's take our final break here. You are listening to the Heineken Direct Call-In Show on the Rhinos Broadcast Network on WYSL News 1040 AM. Welcome back to the final segment of the Rhinos post-game show, sponsored by Heineken and Auction Direct. I am Soccer Sam.
And I'm Joe. And I'm Joe Giuliano.
You're not that smart, are you? I just said it because my head was spinning a little bit, so I felt like you for a minute. Sammy, final score tonight. We'll wrap this thing up. Portland 2, Rochester nothing. Your thoughts on what we saw on USL Live tonight?
I loved watching it. I loved listening to Don Stevens, and I can't wait till next Friday night to see them play again and listen to them again. I'm concerned of certain things, but I think with the team resting and bonding, I think there's enough quality on this team to get it going. As soon as everyone kind of knows their role and plays their role. We always kind of refer to the teams of the past. Everyone knew their role.
Yeah.
Same guys played the same positions game after game. Same guys came in off the bench for the same guys. Once that happens, we're going to be all set. I have a lot of faith in Coach Laurie Callaway, and I can't wait for Tuesday night, baby. USA, Argentina, Paytech Park, I'm out.
All right, Soccer Sam, thank you for everything this weekend. Great job last night against the California Victory and tonight against the Portland Timbers. We will be back on the air Friday, May the 18th. That's this Friday night, 10 o'clock pregame show. 10:30, the Rhinos kicking off against the Seattle Sounders. That game coming to you from beautiful Quest Field. So your final score again tonight, the Portland Timbers 2, the Rochester Raging Rhinos 0. And the Rhinos are spending the week out on the West Coast preparing for the next match against the Seattle Sounders. For Don Stevens, our great producer, Bobby D'Angelo, and his assistant this evening, Allison. And for Soccer Sam, I'm Joe Giuliano saying ciao for now. Thank you for listening to the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, sponsored by Auction Direct